Hello, monsters, bitches, and gentlefolk. Welcome to Tabletop Tiddies, a queer and feminist live TTRPG actual play show run entirely by people of marginalized genders. My name is Jeremy Cobb. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be your game mother this evening. We are very excited to continue our Streaming for Survivors events with this horrifying alien RPG one-shot, joining other content creators in raising money for survivors of sexual violence via the charity Salal Sexual Violence Support Center. But before we get into the episode, we want to acknowledge the colonial history of Canada and the United States, countries who have and continue to take from Indigenous people. The effects of colonization are felt to this day. The charity we are supporting today, Salal Sexual Violence Support Center, has specific services to support Indigenous survivors of sexualized violence. But before we get into Salal's services and what your donations mean, we need everyone to introduce themselves. My spacers are ready to go.
Terrifying. I didn't realize I was first until this exact moment. Hi, I'm Dare. Pronouns she, they, they. I am playing Mama Jules, if you remember her from the last time we've done this. She made no mistakes and hurt no people, and she's just a cool butch colonial marshal who's mostly a union rep. Her pronouns are they, she. I believe that's everything for me, so I'm going to throw it over to Shar.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Bear. I go by Char. My pronouns are she, they, and on this stream, I will be playing Dot, a medic who also uses she, they pronouns and was left for dead by Mama Jules. So nice. And I am coming to you from the unceded territories of the Ganyeg-Haga First Nations, and I throw it over to Kelly.
Hello, my name is Kelly. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Deborah Walker, everyone's favorite company agent, and that will remain true even at the end of the stream. And her pronouns are she, her, and I am also coming from at you from the stolen lands of the Ganyeg-Haga First Nations people.
Ooh.
No, that was just a mouth click. Mwah.
Yeah, we're throwing it over to B Dave next, actually.
Yes.
Oh.
Hello. It is I, B Dave Walters. Was looking at the script and didn't see if Kelly was like giving me a nod or something. Today I'm gonna be playing Parker Garrett, who's a corporate agent, just here to kind of keep a helicopter view of things and trying to get some easy wins for the team. I am streaming from the stolen land of the Fernandinho Tatavium, the Chumash, and the Chongva, the Gabrielino Tongva. Again, I apologize for butchering those pronunciations. You can find me all over the interwebs, wherever fine streaming content can be located, and I am literally Connie's biggest fan. Literally.
Oh, well, that's such a coincidence because I'm literally V Dave's biggest fan. Hey, folks, I'm Connie, B Dave's biggest fan, Chang. You can find me across the internet at by Connie Chang. My pronouns are they, he, and she. Today, I will be playing Eurydice Calhoun. Do not call them Eurydice, call them Cal or Calhoun. They are a butch colonial marine, very much a space trooper. Very sweet kind of golden retriever energy. Poor kid who got sucked into the US CMC and just kind of wants to be a superhero and has not become jaded yet. But we'll see what happens to them in terms of their jaded-o-meter, which I will be tracking this session. I'm streaming to you all from the unceded territory of the Massachusetts tribe, and I'll pass things over to DeadAussieGamer.
G'day guys, my name's Michael. I'm the DeadAussieGamer, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be playing Tanaka, a rather middle-aged individual who is on his last mission before retirement, where he hopes to finally settle down on the houseboat he purchased for him and his would-be fiance. He has a whole plan about, breaking it to his family at his adopted daughter's graduation. But there's just a lot of good vibes about this dude. He just knows that this next mission is going to be super easy. Very, very simple, kind of everyday kind of job. He's not worried at all. But yeah, I am streaming far, far, far away in the land of Australia, on the lands of the Noongar people, which of course, is just from where I'm at.
He must be protected at all costs.
Don't
He will
be
be retired
sad.
one way or
Lives
another.
are about to be killed today.
Yeah, it'll be whether in the Blade Runner sense or in the regular sense, he will be retired.
One way or another, this is in fact his last mission. Yes.
Oh yeah. Something there. There's gonna be it.
And we are raising money for survivors of sexualized violence. Salal Sexual Violence Support Center's free of charge support services are available to survivors of all marginalized genders. That includes cis and trans women, two-spirit, non-binary, gender diverse, and trans people. Salal services include their 24-hour crisis and information line, text and chat support, 24-hour hospital accompaniment, police and court accompaniment, counseling, group therapy, and so much more.
Right now, Salal has a 2-year waitlist for their free of charge counseling services due to a lack of funding. You can change the lives of survivors by donating to our campaign. The link is available in chat right now, so do that. The donations that you are making today are already changing lives. We've currently funded 20 hours of Salal's 24-hour crisis and information line, and I better see more. Keep donating. This is a threat, not an ask.
Oh, it's me. I was on the wrong script. That's not all. We also have a charity raffle with tickets for only $10. Raffle prizes include digital copies of the Alien TTRPG handbook, a custom watercolor and digital copy character portrait art commission from Sara Wen, and Goodberry Dice gift certificates. Salal has also let us know that everyone who donates $40 or more will receive a shiny press prize bundle containing over 50 items to support your TTRPG gameplay.
And when you donate, you will not only be supporting survivors, but you will also be affecting the game. That's right, we've got incentives tonight. When you make your donation, you can select a reward on Tiltify to give special goodies to the players. That's us, or to our game mother. Don't do that. Please just give goodies to us. Don't give any tools to Jeremy. For $25, you can help or hinder the players by adding or removing someone's stress. $25 also funds over an hour of Salal's text and chat support.
For $35, you can give advantage to a player of your choice. A player of your choice. Just a player of your choice. Again, this also funds the Salal Crisis line. $40 will force the entire table to make panic rolls, which, change the difficulty of everything that's going on. And, make things super scary. But to tell you more, B-Dave, why don't you tell them what else these donations can unlock?
Couple things. It wouldn't be me if I didn't go off the script. Jeremy, a note. It does seem an aggressive jump from advantage to one person to everything going wrong for everyone for only $5 more. Seconded. That's just saying, just putting that out there. I've been blessed to do a bunch of these. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, it's Sunday. You could be anywhere. If you're watching from Australia, I know it's way early in the morning. Thank you all just for being here. And again, plenty of times in my life, I didn't have an extra $5 to even donate to something, and I realized we're throwing all these numbers around. But I just want to say, every single dollar helps. It all adds up. It all makes a difference. We're helping some people and going through some of the darkest, most difficult times of their lives. So thank you so much for your support. And of course, if you're not in a place where you can donate, Signal boost work, raising awareness works, letting people know about the good work Salal's doing. Thank you all so much. Now, Shar, what's our goal for today? By the way, our goal.
Our first milestone is unlocked at $960. We're pretty close already.
Okay, all right. So again, I'm sure something good happens there, because I run these things and I'm always like, donate and help me, and everything is good for me, and ha ha ha. But now I'm on the other side of the equation, and so I don't like that. And also, last time there was a Kryptonian, and Jeremy said he had something worse than a Kryptonian, and I've got a sidearm. So we need help. Yeah, I got a 9mm named Harsh Language. That's it. So $70 gives an auto stunt to a player of your choice. This also funds an hour of counseling for a survivor. $100 gives the ability to bring someone back from the dead. Hang on, pause on the script. Why would we need that? No, we're supposed to be among friends. I expressly tweeted that this was a silky smooth, uneventful Space Marine space picnic. I don't know
Slice
why.
of life alien RPG one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God,
It's
absolutely.
it's a cozy alien RPG. Or you can choose to add yet another alien from our Game Mothers list of aliens from other media. Which is good, I guess. I mean, they could send Alf, but I know you'd send Alf
Yeah.
with a chainsaw or something. So that's, you know what, Jeremy, you can just let everyone know about the new milestones this year. I'm just gonna say once again, please send help. We need it. Thank you.
And actually, I want to shout out people who've already donated because we already have
Hey.
3 group panic rolls unlocked and 2 extra aliens unlocked. I've already rolled for which ones they are, and they are doozies.
Oh, boy.
Real doozies, folks.
No,
So
I
prepare
thought-
yourselves.
I thought we were better internet. I thought we were cool. That's it.
And I also want to shout out, there is a special thing that we added. If you give $150, you can just choose to have Kryptonian Groot appear.
Nice.
Kryptonian Groot is not on the list. It's not a possible option unless you give $150, at which point Kryptonian Groot is an automatic lock to appear.
What's the donation tier to have Kryptonian Groot show up on our side?
Ooh, you know what? I will say if you want Kryptonian Groot to be on the PC's side, that's $200.
Mm.
Okay.
Otherwise, Kryptonian Groot will be against the party.
Right. Cool. Yeah.
I've just added those to the official Spotify list.
Yes. So, new to Tabletop Tiddies Streaming for Survivors events, when our total raised has hit a new milestone, even more game-altering effects will unlock. Whether those are auto successes for the GM, auto successes for players, more monsters and more goodies are just waiting to come into play. We've already unlocked, as I mentioned, 2 extra aliens from the milestones that have already been crushed. Our next milestone unlocks a free reroll for all players at $1,000 raised.
Woo! And a reminder, when you're donating, please fill out your response to the reward question that pops up, or else you won't be eligible for your prizes, and we won't know who to give the things that you donated for to the players. For example, be like McClover, who just donated to give Dag an advantage.
Yay!
Thank you all so much for your supporting survivors with us and with your donations. This cause really means a lot to us, and we're really grateful to be supporting this amazing charity with you. And I throw it over to Jeremy to get things started.
All right. And potential content warnings for today's episode. It is an alien RPG game. So suspense, violence, gore, death, corporate corruption, skullduggery, and body horror are all on the menu for today. And I also want to let everyone know that we're using Syrinscape to help make our stream more atmospheric. Thanks to DJ Kelly Wright. Yeah, make sure you check out Syrinscape for an awesome TTRPG, backing tracks, sound effects, and more at www.syrinscape.com. Now, without further ado, let's dive into tonight's episode of Tabletop Tiddies Presents Streaming for Survivors 2024 Alien RPG. So, you are all employees of Barger Lewis, a company that specializes in the mining and processing of beldanite, an extraterrestrial mineral that's extremely useful in all sorts of manufacturing, particularly weapons. Barger Lewis has been having trouble with Thule Station, a mining operation on a planetoid called JHC-82, and they're sending you there to investigate. Thule Station has suffered multiple major equipment malfunctions. There are reports of strange behavior by the workers, and Barger Lewis is afraid that corporate sabotage is taking place. And perhaps the most bizarre development is the fact that for several days now, Thule Station has been sending out an SOS signal, despite ostensibly being fully operational. The mine had previously been producing huge beldanite yields, and Barger Lewis is desperate for them to resume. Your mission is to identify the root of the problem and get Thule Station back on track by any means necessary. You are currently aboard we will call it the good ship Carpenter, that is sailing through the astral sea towards the planet, the planetoid JHC-82. It is a surprisingly Earth-like planetoid in terms of its distinct biomes and environments, but the entire planet for some thousands of years has actually been covered by ice. There are reports of evidence of ancient alien activity, and it's thought that ancient alien activity may have been the result of all of these distinct biomes essentially being turned into one solid ice biome. As the ship Carpenter approaches, you can see and enters the atmosphere, you can see rising before you Thule Station, which looks like if Battersea Power Station, which you may know from the cover of Pink Floyd's seminal album Animals, it looks as if Battersea Power Station was made of metal and spread out like a fungal growth. There are miles and miles of vein-like walkways surrounding a massive monolithic central hub with 4 towers that spear into the sky. As your ship begins to descend, let's have each of you describe who you are and what you're doing. Let's start with our pilot, Tanaka. Can you please say what you look like and what you are doing as you land this ship?
Well, Tanaka is a man who is 42 years old, has a very well-groomed beard with salt and pepper gray hair. He wears a very typical like sort of pilot's uniform. However, over the top of it, he has what looks to be kind of like this almost very old, very worn brown coat. Along his arms, he has various patches from different planets that he's visited, and and of course the company patch, because you can't go without that. And you can see like kind of on his arm, there are a couple of small, almost handmade patches, little tiny ponies and dinosaurs, stuff like that. Tanaka finds himself at the pilot's console, where you can see that there are just these tiny little small glass portraits of his daughter in various stages of her life growing up until her current age of 21. As he is slowly just checking the guidance systems, making sure that everything is nominal as they begin their descent. He is probably sending a signal down to try and communicate with the auto nav on the Thule base in order to try and find and make sure that the landing zone is clear for their approach.
And as you are sending that down, strangely enough, even though you get pings in response, you do not receive any direct communication. You can tell that you can tell that the ship is being sensed, and as you begin to descend, you see as the landing strip area, the part of the base begins to slide open through the ice. You're close enough to hear the crunching of the ice as these panels slide open, and you can see a landing strip being revealed as you lower this ship. And it is also snowing heavily. And as a side note, what is Tanaka's daughter's name?
It is Amelia.
All right. The photos of Amelia are like vibrating with the ship as it lowers down. We'll move back to some of the security detail. First, our colonial marshal. What's Mama Jules up to? What's she looking like there?
Mama Jules is an older, kind of slightly heavy-set black woman. Her hair is essentially cut very short, graying. I think she has it slightly faded on the sides, mostly, to keep up a little bit with the young people. She is currently nursing a cigarette, like she is one to do, and sort of just fiddling with with her revolver, just sort of spinning the chamber. She has seen stuff like this too many times. She is anxious, is maybe too much of a word for her, but she's tired. And I think she's just sort of looking at this crew, hoping that she can keep as many of them safe as possible, because the last time she was on a mission, it didn't go so well.
And this time, I think in contrast to last time, you have a space marine with you. You have some real serious muscle with you. Connie, can you please describe Cal, our muscle, for us?
Yes, Eurydice Cal Calhoun cuts a strong figure at 6'2". She is a Chinese non-binary bushwoman, light brown skin, short black hair slicked back. Every morning, she takes careful attention to put pomade in and make sure it's out of her eyes in proper USCMC ordained haircut regulation. They wear the usual kind of like jumpsuit that Marine officers might wear when being deployed to a mission, though the front of the jumpsuit is slightly cut down to reveal like a wife beater underneath. They're currently in the middle of polishing their pulse rifle, their Armat M41A pulse rifle, which they've named Baby. And they're in the middle of making sure putting gun oil on it, making sure all the munitions are properly deployed within its like kind of ammunition cartridge. And you also notice a pair of dog tags that they are wearing around their neck that do not say their name. It's someone else's name that they're wearing around their shoulders. And they're humming something. They've got these, I think, kind of like 80s or 90s style like earbuds in with like they're wired and attached to essentially like a Walkman-like device to their hip. They're humming along to something that kind of sounds like maybe it could be Scorpions, like the and they're not really paying attention to the landing procedure, though they do have a very chipper attitude, despite all their brawn, despite their broad shoulders, despite the muscles that want to free themselves of these pieces of fabric that they've assembled over their body. They seem to be kind of like a golden retriever stuck in a brutal warrior's body. And though their eyes are bright and sharp and black and chipper, there is also something of an edge to the side of the iris. And though they're listening to the music, you notice that their eyes are flicking every now and then to Mama Jules, as though like a dog, a well-trained German shepherd waiting to take orders.
And as both of our military personnel are sitting there, one, I guess, a golden retriever in a Cane Corso's body, and the other one, a real protective mother for the crew. Let's look at the person whose job it is to keep them alive when they get hurt. Shar, can you please describe Dot for us?
Dot is a shell of a human. Definitely not what they used to be. They have tight curly hair that's been pulled back into a bun. She's got still the same large glasses, red frames that match her daughter's. But they're currently holed up in their med quarters, finishing a grounding exercise. The hum of the ship, my foot tapping on the floor, and the electricity buzzing. I can smell the iron in the air and my own BO. I can taste. I wish I could taste a strawberry right now. And she's just honestly always on the verge of a breakdown, but for some reason has to be here.
And of course, the two people whose job it is to try and keep everyone else in line. Let's first talk to our veteran company agent. Kelly, can you please describe what's Deborah up to these days?
So Deborah is actually standing behind Tanika. Stern-looking woman, like scars all over her face. Some surgical scars, some burn scars. What almost looks like Atlantic crab legs stretched across her face have been burned. And she is wearing a black, what almost looks like a karate gi with a deep V, but it is shiny for some reason. And it has the Barger Lewis emblem on it, and then much larger has a large Z emblem on it. Her hands are behind her back, clasped, and she has a very straight posture. Her hair is now completely black, where it used to sort of be like a dirty blonde, and it is sort of like waving behind her a little bit. And she is as static as she can possibly be as the landing sequence is taking place.
And finally, our other company agent, who maybe has not been through nearly as much of a ringer as Deborah, but I imagine is no less focused on the mission. Vide, can you please describe Parker Garrett to us?
Parker Garrett is the quintessential douchebag. Just blonde, comb over, very much glazed, tan skin to perfection, wearing what would be like an officer's casual gear in the Space Marines that is like clearly brand new, like the slacks are still creased, just absolute poser, right? But is trying to fit in. And he's looking at a data pad, and there's columns on there. And one of them is the allotted budget for oxygen to a space station and where it is in the area. And his finger is hovering over the school, and he's like, they're little, they don't need as much. And as he's dragging the oxygen allotment down, you see a side calculation of his personal quarterly bonus going up. And he's like, all right. And then turns and looks at Calhoun, and he's like, Calhoun, right? Sergeant Corporal
Oh, just officer. Private too, if you want. I'm hoping for a lieutenant soon. How can I help you, Mr. Garrett?
I think that I need bring it in, take a knee. Let's just have a quick powwow here. Wait, we don't say that word anymore. Just a tay, you know. Listen.
The ship, by the way, is you're visibly like you're trying to take a knee and have a heart to heart as this ship is going down.
I'm not too sure about these people, all right? They kind of got into some suck last time. They sent us out here to kind of help keep them in line. I need to know that I can count on you, Lieutenant.
Calhoun. Of course, sir. Yeah, you absolutely can. You know, anywhere Mama Jules takes me, I go.
Wait, maybe. Remember, we're actually here for the Bell tonight. We're not here for Mama June. We're here for the Bell tonight. And I just sort of like slap on the shoulder, and I'm like, long as we get back, we get our mission done, I'll personally put in that letter of rec for you. And I pull out my letter of authorization that I have from the company, my prized possession, and be like, get you one of these, all right? You just remember what we're here to do.
Yes, of course, sir. Yes, of course. The company, the Belden Knight, yes, all very important, and it'll help people, right? The more Belden Knight there is, the more technology and all that stuff I'm not really good at, but I know we're just here to help people, so of course.
Shareholders are people, so yeah, absolutely. And I go back to my data pad, and if anyone heard that, I made no effort to hide it. I realized the ship is loud, but I was not in any way trying to be like duplicitous.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that both Mama Jules and Tanaka heard every word of that. If Tanaka was listening, he would have absolutely heard it. And Mama Jules, I mean, it was very blatant what just took place. I will add. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Tanaka would absolutely shoot a look to Mama Jules. I feel like the two of them have like kind of been like on a few jobs together here and there. So they've kind of got that relationship of like, there's a few unspoken things that you don't say out loud, but if you've been with the company for as long as we both have, I feel like it's just a moment of, okay, yeah.
I think we've learned the eye roll at people who are just kind of yapping, and I think it's that sort of thing of just immediately the deepest sigh and eye roll, just in looking at you of like, right, just you're confirming this, and I think I let it slide. I'm not gonna shake the table yet. I'm just quietly going to acknowledge that has happened, and just out of the corner of my eye, like in between drags, just give a small look at Parker.
And I will add, there is also, I think, on Agent Parker's pad, there is a section talking about how one of the reasons why Thule Station is so prized, aside from its Beldenite yields, the fact that it is on a snow-covered planet means that they are able to harvest the ice and render it into extra oxygen. So the actual oxygen overheads are much lower here. And so they're able to the company's able to get away with providing significantly less oxygen to this.
They can be lower. Yeah. Just we need some cardio. We'll work on some deep breathing. You know, it's just got to stay calm, and then the oxygen goes a lot further.
Exactly. So as you complete the landing, there are a number of individuals. You can see like a loading crew who just sort of appear you're in like a very dimly lit room. I will say, Tanaka and everybody who's traveled to a lot of these places notice it is like abnormally dim in here. There's kind of a dingy feel, but you do see a number of people emerge, sort of like just standing and then jogging over to immediately begin making sure, like doing all the checks, securing the ship, all that stuff. They are awaiting you. It seems like, though it's slightly unorthodox, the procedures are overall being followed, and you see as they are preparing, you see a very large individual wearing looks armed to the teeth, comes walking up to stand in front of your launch, or in front of your exit ramp for y'all to get off the ship.
Deborah will walk off the ramp first, still hands clasped behind her back, and approach the crew.
I would just like to say, right when Deborah goes, I start going, and I stop, and I go, "Oh yeah, no, you take point, please, absolutely, yeah, it's your show, please."
You can walk slightly behind and to the left of me if you want.
As the two company agents stand up, I'm gonna say that both Mama Jewel and Tanaka share another look, and I'm gonna kind of just on purpose / by accident have the whole ship kind of like stagger a little bit as we get into the docking thing, while the seatbelts are on like most of the other people, like, and these two are like ready to kind of approach. Just have this moment of just like,
yeah,
sorry, we had a little bit of turbulence.
You know what? Both of you roll mobility.
This is what you get for being the kind of people who would like cut people off on a plane.
Are we starting with any stress?
No. You'll get. Trust me, you will start with stress in a minute, and you may get stress.
I got a 6 on that one.
Oh, okay.
So I rolled the number of d6 is equal to the total, right?
Yes.
I am not terribly dexterous. Let's see, and I got a 1 on one of them.
That only matters if it's a panic die, which
Okay.
you don't have any of yet. Do
Okay.
you have?
I got a 4, a 1, and a 5.
So you fail. You can push
Okay.
this if you want, and you would take a stress, or you can just fall.
I'm actually gonna push it simply because I mean everybody's looking. This is first impressions matter. You know what I mean? Like I need to set the proper standard. So I'm gonna re-roll all 3 of those, I suppose. Okay.
Yep, you all re-roll all 3 of them.
Oh, and now it is a 3, a 3, and a 4.
So you fail and you gain a stress. So go ahead and mark a stress level.
I just sort of like trip, and I'm about to touch Deborah to steady myself, and I'm making such a point not to. I overcommit, just like bang my knee on like a bench, like bang.
Yeah, you just poof. You end up partially draped over the side, like the side railing of this thing. One of the
standard gravity on this planet. Okay. All right.
I will very like sternly stick out a hand to help you up.
Oh, teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Deborah, can I think call me Parker? Can I call you Deborah?
That is my name, so you can do that for sure.
See, this is gonna work out great.
Yeah.
hello, company agents. We are very honored to host you here. The buff individual looks up at you. They have imagine. Okay, I want you to picture a space marine who had been through several wash cycles in a washing machine that is filled with razors. They are more scar tissue now than just regular old skin. They look literally like looking at them almost gives you a stress point. Because it's like this person is as grizzled. A grizzly bear would give up the name if they met this person.
More machine now than man, twisted and evil.
Yes, you can see a name tag that says S. Bresson, Breson, or Breson if that's easier to say, or Breson, security chief. And they look up at you and say, "It is a true honor to have you here. We have been awaiting visitors from the company, so thank you very much. It is my duty to escort you straight to our manager, plant manager, Mr. Priffin. So would you and your colleagues please accompany me as soon as you are able to exit the craft successfully?"
Yes, I believe they're landing right now, though it's been a bit rocky. Weirdly rocky, considering how stable the environment seems to be here. But you can stand with pride. You are part of the company. You're as welcome here as we are.
Of course. And the team is still like riveting the ship down, making sure everything's okay.
Circle up, team. Circle up. Everybody. Tanaka, Marshall Jules, the medic. Didn't catch the medic's name. We're on the clock, people. You know,
This
give it
flight took 2 days. 2 days, so that everybody understands what the implications of you just fully not knowing Dot's name.
I think finally, like Mama Jules speaks for the first time. We get paid by the hour. We can take a second.
That's why we can't take a second, actually. But that's all right. You know, let's we'll get there when we get there. All right?
I don't want to cause any problems, but it is rather pressing that I take you directly to Mr. Priffin as soon as possible.
Oh, of course, panic. That's cool.
Christina
Thanks,
has
Yes,
donated.
thank you very much, Christina.
Forced panic.
That's a fourth.
Thank you.
Fourth panic.
Jesus.
Thank you.
You hate
Thank
us
you,
so
Christina.
bad, Christina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want us to
It's-
die so bad.
It's for charity. That's cool. It's cool.
It is of the utmost importance that we clear this area. There are things above. It is not safe to remain in a less shielded area for long.
Is there a
What kind of things?
They sort of look this way and that. I'm going to say, because I think you asking this, even as the words leave your mouth, you recognize, you've been on enough missions. Extraterrestrial type stuff can sometimes be kind of hairy, like to actually in terms of clearance. And so you realize as you're asking this that they may not be technically at liberty to say. So I'm going to have you please roll, we'll say manipulation, empathy manipulation.
I'm
'cause
not
you're
very
not a
good at
commanding officer, so manipulation. to
No,
try.
I'm just curious. It's my little golden retriever ears going up with curiosity. That's a 6.
Hey!
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just so damn charming. I flash the scarred grizzled marine, my best pearly whites.
They look this way and that. They sort of motion for you to lean in, and also to you, Mama Jules, recognizing your rank. And they say, the tunnels, they weren't made by us. We simply wallpapered them with metal. And we had to do so because the things that made the tunnels, they're still out there. And they want to come in.
Did you happen to see a short alien with a long neck and what looked like dreads?
No, I have not
All
seen
right,
a
we
short-
might be okay.
All right.
That
I'll
was
keep
the
my eyes
least of
peeled.
our worries last time.
Right. Right this way, please. And they turn, and as they lead you through this complex, you notice, like, not just in the hangar, all the lights throughout here seem to be at, like, half power or less. Frankly, Parker, even lower than you would normally have them be. It's to the point where it's actually kind of difficult to see. And as you're walking, everybody that you see doesn't really give you, like, a smile. You see every single worker here, even the ones who look like they're doing custodial work. All of them are looking at you. They all are wearing weapons, first of all. Every single one of them is armed. And they all kind of look at you with this, like, sort of wide-eyed, sort of curious stare as you walk by.
They're playing like they're down at the half. I like it.
Yes, yes. Well, we needed to preserve power due to some of the issues we've been having, specifically with the insurrectionists.
Oomst.
Well, that's part of what you will be discussing with Mr. I lost my place in my notes with Mr. Priffin. But essentially, we have suffered several insurrections, and currently there's a large contingent of what they call themselves the Resistance. These quote-unquote Resistance fighters have pulled themselves up, taken over an entire quarter of the station, led by this woman, Kenya Gerson. Look, it's I can't fully debrief you on the whole thing right now, but it's part of the big problem why we needed some of you folks to come help out.
I believe you've
I just
already
look
said
at-
too much. And I just gently put my hand on his shoulder.
Oh, there. Their pronouns are they them.
Their shoulder.
But they look at you touching your their armor plate, and they sort of they sort of stare at your hand for a moment as of like curiously, and then they raise their hand and put their hand on your hand.
I just
and
shake my
they're
head.
wearing like fingerless gloves, and they're just sort of like you feel their fingertips sort of like grab onto your hand as they continue, like they stop walking and just sort of stare at their hand touching your hand for a minute.
I just like slowly shake my head at them.
I lean into Mama Jules at that, and I say, that was a strange human interaction, right? Like, all things considered, that was rather bizarre.
One thing you'll learn is agents are kind of weird like that. There's a lot of quiet power plays at all.
I get all that. And that's part of why I don't really like the politics of the Marine Corps or anything like that. But what the head of security did, that's strange, and everyone here is looking at us kind of strange, don't you think?
Yeah. No. I don't like any of this. But my goal is to make sure we get out of here in one piece. Haven't always been good at that before. A small guilty glance over at Dot and a less guilty glance over at Deborah.
Right,
Deborah, by the way,
referenced.
after that initial touch, as soon as the others started talking, Brazen seemed to sort of snap out of it and sort of pull their hand off of your hand, just sort of ugh, and continue just walking. And it felt like their fingers felt almost clammy, like they were as if there was a moisture there, because it seemed like they stuck to you for a second as they pulled their hand off and continued quite brusquely down the hall. Oh, we got a huge dono.
We got a huge dono.
We got the dono. We got that one.
No, I was
Which
gonna
one?
say thank you, P-Sater, but why did you do this to us?
What did P-Sater do?
Let me say thank you before I know what's about to happen, because thank you for the people, but what exactly?
They unlock Kryptonian Groot.
Friendly
us.
Friendly
Against
Kryptonian?
us.
Oh.
We love you and we hate you. Affectionate.
Amazing.
Oh man.
Hey,
That also
someone can
means
donate for a second Kryptonian Groot.
Oh no.
It's a friendly.
we reached our next milestone. So we all get, the table gets a free stunt.
Yeah.
And we fully funded a day of the crisis line for Salal.
Hey!
That's
Yay!
incredible.
That's so good.
Thank you so much,
P-Sater.
much.
Can I,
Oh, that's amazing.
can I use
thank
my
you.
stunt just to backflip in this hallway, just as a power move? Just right now, just apropos of nothing.
Just full drag
Absolutely.
performance here.
Yeah.
I would say, as we're walking, I just kind of fall in next to Tanaka for a moment, and I say, "Hey, Captain, couple questions. It just so I know, roughly how long would it take to take off? Like, if we had to get on board the ship and get out of here quickly, like, how long do you need?"
Tanaka pulls up his little PDA just on that's attached to his wrist. He starts to tap on it and stuff like that, but as he's doing so, all he's really doing is just playing Snake, like when you used to have a calculator and you used to that. So he's pretending like he's looking into it, and he's like, just carry the 7 with fueling and supplies, getting to the closest recon station within an hour or so. If we manage to get everything on board, and all the repairs done, yeah.
What about if this was an emergency?
Oh, yeah, no.
wait.
Just a couple of buttons, we're good.
Security Chief Breezen turns and says, an emergency landing should not be necessary. However, our staff are currently refueling your ship and making sure that everything is in order. So they will be taking care of all the different instruments, making sure everything is calibrated and ready to go when the time comes.
It is not an emergency landing that I'm worried about, but potentially an emergency takeoff. But I like where your head's at.
You arrive.
And also, under no circumstances should anyone enter the cargo hold. Just maybe. send that out on your, just a wave to your crew there.
Of course.
I give
They
Parker.
give
I
you
give
kind of
Parker.
like a weird half smile look, like.
I also give
Before we
Parker a
move-
weird look.
Before we move fully out of view of the ship, Cal is kind of a people person insofar as they really like people. They might not be so good at talking to them sometimes, but they really enjoy being sociable. And something about this has been rubbing her strangely the entire time. So before we're out of the view of the ship, they pause and they look at the workers who are refueling the ship. Are they actually refueling the ship? Are they actually like fixing it up, or are they like, is there some sabotage happening?
So I will say, this is going to be a wits observation roll. Go ahead and roll wits observation. So wits plus observation.
Big money, big money.
No
That's a
whammies.
6 on the highest.
Okay. So you see that they are in fact refueling the ship. I think the only thing that's a little bit odd about it is that there seem to be more of them there than would be necessary to actually like go over the ship. They often like disinfect these crafts in between, you know, make sure everything's okay. There seem to be more people here than necessary. You're not sure if that's because there's just like the reduced activity because part of the mine is not currently functioning because it's been sort of cordoned off by the resistance, or if there's some other reason, but there are more people around the ship than you would normally need, but they are in fact refueling.
Okay, good. Then Cal's just kind of gonna go, huh, well, more hands make light work, I guess, and turn and quickly follow Mama Jules.
All right. So Security Chief Breezen leads you through the base, through this winding network of hallways, all dimly lit, until you finally arrive at Mr. Gary Priffin's office. Gary Priffin is if you were to take Parker Garrett and then age him up by about 20 years, that's kind of the vibe. Same sort of like very like smiles, uncomfortably bright teeth, and much more of like a comb over than Parker has. The hair, the part has moved down the side of the head over the years. And as you enter his office, he turns and says, well, there you are. Welcome. Come on in. Well done, Security Chief. And he sort of like walks over and pats them on the shoulder, sort of like a weird, awkward, and turns. The doors close behind you. This office seems pristine, like incredibly clean. In fact, that's actually one thing that you've noticed about the whole place. The whole place is very well kept up. Even if the lights are down, it looks like it's been like thoroughly cleaned. The whole place, there isn't like normally you would expect a lot of dust and grime. It looks nice.
I'll do that thing where I wipe my finger on a counter and then I look at it and nod with approval at them and put my hands back.
Yeah, your finger is like cleaner after touching the counter.
I'm like, Priffin, you're a fellow tech man. You graduated what, 25 years ago?
Yes. Well, guilty as charged.
You know, I reach out to shake his hand, and I just admire your commitment to sticking with this obscure posting like this. I would have thought a man of your caliber and credential would be much further along by now, but the fact that you're staying here to keep giving to the team, that's so impressive. So impressive. I'm gonna remember this example when I'm at headquarters. That just
absolutely. Just like clamps down both hands on your hand, is vigorously shaking.
The
handshake goes on for slightly it goes on for slightly too long, and then finally like removes his hands. You also feel that this dude's hands are slightly clammy and they sort of like peel off of your hand, and he says, well, so we ought to get right down to brass tacks. We need you people to help us with our little resistance problem. Now, you see here, I'm sure those of you who have ever been stationed in a place like this before and have heard of the kinds of mental sicknesses that can sink in. You know, it's like cabin fever, but so much worse. They call it outpost sickness, you know? And I think that a severe case of outpost sickness has really set in. You look at this planet, you can't even leave the base. even in a suit, it's just too hostile. It's just too darn hostile. They never see the sun. It's the perfect conditions for stress. That's all it is, I've been saying. Stress. But unfortunately, with that stress has come a certain level of little delusion. Have
you been performing the quarterly company mandated pizza parties?
Well, we've been cutting back on the sauce, and I've noticed that has actually led to significantly lower participation by our employees. Apparently, they're very pro sauce, but the fact that they're not eating the pizza means that we save quite a bit, not only on the sauce, but also on the overall pizza production, because if there's not going to be that many employees eating the pizza, we can just order less pizza.
Or just cut smaller slices. Yes, please, yes.
Did you ever do R&R for any of the outpost workers? Any sort of plan away?
Oh, yes. Multiple mandated exercise. Of course, we would take them on walks throughout the base itself. Unfortunately, there are certain areas of the base that are a little bit less safe to walk around in, and due to
You would take them on walks? They're not dogs.
Well, we would have a member of a manager take a team, and they'd sort of go on a half jog, half fast walk throughout much of the base.
None of this was even off-world, at least even in orbit.
Oh, no. The fuel costs are too great. And unfortunately, that's another little issue we've been having. We've been having a problem with a lot of our ships recently. Once the outpost sickness set in, there was a little bit of sabotage that took place, and our ships have been unable to take off for a little bit now.
Unable to take off, why exactly?
Because their takeoff gear has been sabotaged by the resistance.
Couple things here, Mr. Priffin. First of all, I'm gonna need you to post some guards around our vessel so that obviously no further company property gets damaged.
That goes without saying. He looks over at Reason, and Reason just nods.
Nothing goes without saying. That's why we have to say it. Dot?
Yes.
Dot.
Me.
Yes.
I didn't even notice you back there.
That makes more sense. I've noticed on the packing list here, we have some airborne sedatives. Would it be possible to perhaps pump that into the oxygen system? Maybe just help chill people out, kind of mellow them a little bit before we go have a tete-a-tete?
Outpost sickness isn't really something that there's a lot of studies done on, and I wouldn't feel comfortable prescribing any sort of medication to anyone without their knowledge at this point in time, specifically regarding outpost sickness.
We're not talking about what's possible. We're just talking about what's possible.
I think Mama Jules lets out like a large clearing of her throat to get attention. Put this one off the record. I gesture over at Deborah and Parker. So before I was a marshal, I used to manage a plant and helped with security. What you have is a labor dispute. People are mad that they're not being treated properly, and that's probably why. It also probably costs a lot more money to have them mad than it is to just give them the barest minimum of benefits. I'm just going to say all of that off the record, just so, the company knows how I feel about this, but I do good enough work.
I will say this on the record as well, that in the face of insufficient management and support from the upper management, show of force and retaliation, ultimately destroying the whoever's in charge, is adequate way of showing restructuring of company resources.
Yes, as long as we can confine our hostile action to the soft targets and not the material targets, need to keep the base intact.
course.
Deborah, if you don't mind, take a look over these calculations. I've kind of run some numbers about how many we can either simply just lay off. We could downsize the team a little bit. That might help motivate them. Also, if they are downsized permanently, there are some costs involved. And it's like I just showed Deborah where I basically have run the calculations Fight Club style of if we just kill these people, what that costs.
I'm
if
gonna
we fire them, what that costs. How many we yeah.
As you do that, you see that Mr. Priffin also pulls out his own pad and is like, well, actually, I'm way ahead of you there, champ.
I'm gonna-
and walks over and he says, now the issue here is that in the particular area that they've holed themselves up in, there is a very low guarantee of a lack of damage to the equipment. And that's the real kicker. They refuse to negotiate with any of us here on world, and so we were hoping that you off-worlders could go in there and kind of sweet talk them, you know? He turns to you, Mama Jules, and says, you there, she's looking for a name tag, you there, friend, claps you on the arm. You seem to really understand the mind of the lowly worker. If you could just simply lead the proverbial charge, then hopefully you won't need to lead the actual charge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a literal charge. That is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
the woman
Yes.
of the people. That's
I'm gonna pull a pad out of the inside of my gi and show it to Parker, where it shows how much money we would save if we killed Mr. Priffin and appointed one of the resistance leaders as the new leader, but didn't pay them as much as Mr. Priffin, and how we would save much more than killing all of the resistance and put it back in.
I swap tabs, and I've done those exact same calculations, and I'm
Terrible.
like, very impressive, Walker. Very impressive. Yeah, keep that one in our back pocket, though. Absolutely.
Well, if you're all ready to get going, I mean, you're hot off the presses, so to speak. It would be great to get you in a hallway, speaking through a sealed blast door to the resistance as quickly as possible. Because, of course, time is money. So what do you say? There's no need for all of you to go. Some of you can, he motions basically to both company agents. Some of you can remain while the rest of the crew sort of spearheads, goes in there, you know, really gives them the salt of the earth talk, you know, relates to them.
I prefer to do my job. Apologies.
Certainly. I'm sure we can accommodate that.
So when he said that you know, we should have extra security, and that other guy just sort of nodded, did that guy make any motion at all to get extra security onto the ship?
I think you would have already seen like armed people moving in the direction of the ship as you were like passing away from the ship. Like as you were leaving the ship, you would have seen armed security personnel. Also, everybody there was armed. So
Yeah,
like,
but there's no like there's no extra guards or anything like that.
normally ships would not have that much security anyway. So it looks like whoever was going would probably qualify as extra security.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
In
fact,
I
the
think
nod was
Tanaka's
more of an of course sort of nod.
Right. Okay, right. Because Tanaka's kind of the mindset of like, actually, I'll probably tell this again to Mama Jules, but just whisper after he says, if it's all the same to you, I might take the moment to go and just make sure everything's okay with the ship. We have some supplies that could definitely need to be offloaded, and I can make myself more useful there than sitting around listening to music during our negotiations. If
Keep
that's
the engine running.
yes. I'm gonna lean over to Mama June and say, if they're sabotaging the landing gear, and they're currently trapped behind blast doors, it means they have people on the inside.
Yeah.
And and Tanaka will just sort of like tap her on the shoulder, like it's just kind of we both know what's up, and you know, just kind of that, you know, keeping your head on a swivel and stuff. And yep, Tanaka will take this opportunity to head towards the docks again.
Yeah. Keep an eye on the temperature in the cargo hold as well.
He'll know.
Perhaps I'll head
Keep it
in with the
cold.
group that's going to be doing the discussing. I want to make sure all the workers are tended to if they have any injuries.
They may.
I'll go with the negotiators too. My and their hand goes up to the dog tags around their neck. My brother died of outpost sickness, so maybe I can get through to them.
So sorry for your loss.
Absolutely. Quite a shame.
Yeah, it was well, we don't have to talk about it. I just have one quick question.
Yeah,
I know
better.
I might be speaking out of turn here. Yeah, I'm just a private at this point, but what's up with the tunnels? I've heard of ET activity before, but I've never seen it firsthand. Is that a big concern, or?
Oh, it's mild to moderate. Essentially, the ancient alien civilizations who originally lived here, there's evidence that they may not all be gone. It seems as though perhaps when the atmosphere was changed, some of them may have gone underground. And so these tunnels that we are in right now are actually the remnants of that civilization. And the dregs of that civilization are still out there somewhere, allegedly. And so we have created nigh impenetrable metal casings on the inside of the tunnels to avoid meeting those
There are
dregs.
individuals who could break through such barricades with ease.
Also, you let them know that we have filed our lawful claim on the Beldenite mines, correct?
It seems...
I mean, is their only claim to ownership the fact that they were already here? Because that's just not how commerce works.
Yes, and see, frankly, that would have been... We tried to open negotiations, but unfortunately, they escalated beyond the regular negotiation stage to the hostile negotiation stage pretty immediately. And, so, yes?
I'm gonna need you to be a lot more clear about exactly what they can and cannot do, because I've seen some shit out there, and I would like to know what we're getting into.
Certainly. Breezen will explain as you head over to the location. And Security Chief Breezen nods.
Deborah makes
Could
a
I-
motion to leave the room before anybody else.
I need to roll again because I'm gonna make a point to try and beat Deborah out the door because I was second in line before. So,
So are all of you
Yeah.
leaving the office, or
Yes.
none of you are staying behind?
I'm leaving.
yeah, I'm going to negotiate. Yeah.
A powerful
All right.
leader is always in the front of the pack.
Is
Right.
Tanaka the only one going back though? Because I don't
Well,
want anyone
didn't
to
you
go
go?
alone.
Yeah, yeah, perfectly sensible. I'll go, on my own, into the place that has been attacked by things. It's perfectly fine. I'll, as I'm going as well, I'm gonna be making a little kind of birthday message, because I'll be in cryo, during my my daughter's birthday, so I'm just kind of recording just like a hey Amelia, I know I'm not going to be there this year again, and I know I keep telling you that, this will be the last year, but, I really mean it this time. I've got a big surprise for you when I get home, and, you don't have to worry. Happy birthday.
As
And,
you
you
put
know,
it away, she's gonna love that.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Great
And I
day.
do
Gonna
the-
be a great day.
Yeah, and I do the thing where I make the little emoji, little birthday cake type thing as I sort of type it out as well.
Excellent. So yeah, you walk off alone back to the ship while the rest of the group heads over to negotiate.
Game Mummy, just a quick question. The item in my inventory that you'd mentioned previously, is that something that can be accessed remotely, or do you have to be at it?
It has to be physically set up. It has to be
Got it.
physically removed and set up.
Got it. That's fine. You know what it is? Spoiler alert. I brought a hookah. That's what it was.
Of course.
When
yes.
we're leaving, just gonna hit the hookah in the lounge. You know what I mean? Play some weird 3D chess. Gonna let the Wookiee win. All of us are gonna make it back for Tanaka's daughter's birthday. It's gonna be great. It's
It's gotta be great. Hanukkah. Yeah, you walk back. Again, that same weird vibe of everybody just sort of as they pass you, just sort of looking at you. You manage to find your way right back to the ship, where you can see they are in the process of refueling. You can see that there's a bunch of them who have gone onto the ship and seem to be in the midst of disinfecting. As you approach the ship, you see a couple of the armed guards step forward and say, "Excuse me, the ship is currently being serviced. We would prefer to leave the ship unoccupied for the time being, so as not to interfere with the servicing process."
Well, I'm gonna sense the motive on that. How is that common practice, or is it like actually the thing?
It is. You're the pilot, so it's unusual for you, I think, for them to be like, "Oh, the pilot doesn't go." If it was like some rando, then and they didn't have authorization, that's what they would say. It's kind of weird because you're the pilot.
Yeah, I'll make a point of that. Yeah, that's that'd be my boat, and if someone's gonna tell me that I can't step foot on my boat, then they're gonna have a pretty good reason as to why I'm not allowed back on.
You see a couple of the two of them who sort of blocked your way, sort of look at each other. They look at you. It's like an unspoken look passes between the pair of them, and they look back at you. And the other one speaks and says, "Ever so sorry. We would never want to keep a pilot off of their vessel. Please, by all means."
Still with this like lingering sense of suspicion, I will get up and approach, making my way towards the ship. But I'm kind of also keeping my eye just behind me on these two. Like, just again, like I said, just got these bad vibes. I'm gonna try and make my way towards the side of the ship where a lot of the engineering is taking place. So where you would find like the refueling rig, the cargo bay, that kind of like that side.
You can see that they are in fact refueling the ship. You can see, I will say, are you like trying to like look over the ship and be specifically like oversee to make sure nothing fishy's going on?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Then I will have you roll a wits observation roll.
Ooh, wits observation. All right, so my wits is at 4, so I'm going to be rolling 4 dice here. And my observation is at 0, so it's the 4 dice I've got here. All right, that is a 6, a 2, and a 4, and a 5.
Okay, the 6 succeeds. As you see them standing there, you see that they are currently refueling the ship. You also notice that they have opened the cargo hold. It is most of the way closed, but it appears to be slightly ajar.
I'll look at one of the nearby techs and say, "Hey, who opened up the cargo doors?"
The tech walks over and says, "Oh, no, don't misunderstand. It's simply part of the normal servicing procedures. We're just making sure that there's nothing that needs to be unloaded from the cargo hold. Just a quick sweep, make sure that there are no stowaways, anything like that. Just a quick sweep of the cargo hold, make sure. Nothing to be alarmed about."
Tanaka sort of scratches the like the big kind of like very long beard that he has as he says, "Yeah, well, if it's all the same to you, I'm just gonna run our own checks. Thank you for your service." He kind of nods. I'm gonna go get the loader and go into the cargo bay for some of my own checks.
Awesome. So you just walk back onto the ship, put on your power loader suit, come walking back out. You can see everybody like stares at you like, "What the heck?" As you then walk over to the cargo hold, which you can see that there is, well, I guess it's actually quite cold in this room, so there's nothing leaking out air-wise. But yeah, you walk over as you approach the cargo hold. We'll cut to everybody else. So, Security Chief Breezen leads you deep through the tunnels. Along the way, they explain more about these particular enemies. They say, "Yes, well, the particular creatures, the extraterrestrials in question, appear insectoid in nature, quite large, larger than one might expect a bovine, for example, to be. Imagine, if you will, a small juvenile, or perhaps a juvenile elephant that was actually insectoid and moved incredibly quickly, incredibly deadly.
What
I have
color are they?
They come in various colors. The majority of the forces that I witnessed were black and yellow, maybe orangish yellow, but mostly black or dark purple. They looked sharp.
Sharp elephant insectoids of various colors. And I look around, not asking the question, but to see if anybody recognizes what these might be.
Shark, elephant, insectoids. I know you said you'd cut back on the sauce on the pizza. Good move. Have you cut back on the sauce, if that's what people are reporting seeing?
They're not reporting. We've seen them. I've seen them with my own eyes.
Listen, Rook. You'll realize soon that sometimes there's more in this galaxy than numbers.
When you say that, I turn and look at Cal, and I'm like, "Yeah, just keep your head on, and you'll learn a lot out here."
Oh, yeah, of course. I've heard rumors. I mean, every Marine has. I've heard rumors, but no matter what they are, they're still alive. So anything that's alive can die, right?
Yep.
Good point.
Yeah. As the saying goes, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
No one said that.
Do they bleed? I'm sure it's fine. Do we have any way of communicating with Tanaka?
Yeah, I will
sorry.
say that y'all have like a comms system. You can, a little, hey, you can throw like a little walkie-talkie style message.
Go for Captain Tanaka. How's the second best boat that you're about to be living in looking?
As Tanaka hears that, he's like slamming the rig's his loader's hand into like the manual catch to kind of enter the cargo. He reaches up to the sides of his comms. Yeah, no, everything's hunky dory here.
Love to hear it. Also, there may be what was it? Elephant? What were the animals? Elephant bugs? What was the
insectoid beings the size of elephants?
Oh, yeah. Might be giant insect killer things, Just so maybe lock the door when you go in. That's it. It's probably nothing. People get weird out here on the edges.
Now, in my loader, is my comms something that's like an earpiece, or is it like a loudspeaker? Because I've got the text next to
it's more of like an earpiece situation.
Okay, yeah.
It was like if they had their head up against yours, they might hear it, but otherwise.
Okay, sure. Cool. All right, yeah, no, I'll kind of look at the other guys, and it doesn't look. I look around. It doesn't look like this is the reaction that people would have with giant elephant-sized insects running around the facility, right? Like.
Yes. Well, I mean, as far as you're aware, those have not that they built this place in a way that's supposed to defend against them. So it's reasonable to expect that probably for years there have not been any massive incidents involving them.
Right. Okay. So this is kind of normal. Like this is to be expected. It's like, okay, cool. Tanaka will say, "Yeah, I hear you. If I see anything, I'll let you know."
And as you're walking along, back with the rest of the group, Reason says, their armor, their bodies, they're made of armor. Very, very difficult to penetrate. We can't get through, except with bullets.
What kind of bullets are you using?
Armor-piercing rounds. You see they pop open a thing of, you see like these full-on like, it's, so one thing that I learned a couple of years ago was that when people talk about gauges, in weapons, what they actually mean is like a percentage of like a pound's worth of shot. And so a 12 gauge is actually less powerful than an 8 gauge. These look like 4 gauges, like a quarter of a pound canisters of like, you could see like these hyper sharp flechette things on the front, filled with all kinds of like nasty buzzsaw things on the inside. This is some heavy duty stuff.
Phew. Oh, well, that's a beaut. And we need this? We need 4 gauges to go through them?
They're no joke. No joke.
And
But,
Game Mommy, is
yeah.
Baby a 4 gauge? It says it's armor piercing and it has full auto capacity. So would my gun...
You think it would probably do something to them, but it's not as powerful as what they're packing. It's just
for sure.
It's powerful enough to get through like normal human armor. And so it would probably do something to them.
Whew.
Calhoun, Marshal Jules, do you have access to this kind of firepower?
It shouldn't be a problem. We haven't had an attack in years.
Mama Jules is good at looking out for herself.
If you would just indulge me, I'm gonna need 2 of those flown in for our weapons sergeants here.
Very well, of course. They turn, snap at a nearby soldier who nods and immediately runs off. They lead you through an area that is like a number of people who are nearly as heavily armed as they are. It's like it looks like there's probably 20 or 30 people all standing with rifles, standing around this blast door that appears to have been completely welded shut around the edges. It's a large stone door metal door that used to be, it looks like it would have been able to just slide open. It has been completely welded shut.
I will just say, as we're having that exchange about the weapon, I draw my sidearm, which is a very nice, very expensive, very polished handgun that the 2 of you would know has seen 0 action, you know? And I go, I'm pretty good with this thing, but you know, it's not gonna put a hole in anything like apparently we're gonna need. So just gonna.
It is also the least gun user hold.
It's a kind of limp. I'm like, oh, you should keep your hand off the trigger. Just if you're not gonna shoot, you should.
On the trigger.
Yeah, just take it off the.
Hey, I was top of my class at the range, though. I'm just, you know, I mean.
Okay. All right, don't.
Gesturing a lot with that.
Got it. That's just to want you to know that I got your back. You know, I'll gonna back you up out there.
They walk up to the actual blast door. You see everybody else sort of trains their weapons at the door just in case. And they walk up, knock their gigantic, automatic, heavy-duty 2-hander rifle, clunk, 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 against the metal, and they say, "We got your negotiators here. Go get her. I want Kenya here in 5." And they turn around and on the other side you hear like a ping ping ping. She's on her way. And they sort of turn to you and say, "Just wait here." And a few minutes pass, and after about a few minutes you hear the ping 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 on the other side. And it's a tense few minutes. Like everyone standing there is just like they are so tactical, but they are right on time. To borrow the
Deborah
phrase.
is like a foot away from the wall, just like standing there as if having a conversation, like prepared to have a conversation with the wall.
You hear a voice you hear another clang from the other side, and then you hear a voice. "Are you there, negotiators? Are you there?"
Hey, just Deb, I mean, you want to take point, me take point, want a good cop, bad cop him, good cop him? Like, how do you want to play
think
this?
at that point, Mama Jules speaks up. Yeah. Hey, name's Mama Jules, what they called me. Used to be plant security. Now I'm legally a marshal. I'm here with a couple of agents, Dot, the medic, and Cal. I guess my Marine still pretty new at this, right?
Yeah, a little green around the horn, but these horns have seen action, I promise you.
Mama Jules, I've heard of you. You were in charge of that one plant, right? The one that got destroyed. You were a survivor.
Yeah.
One of few.
Are they still there? The rest of them, are they still there?
We are not alone in this room, correct?
No, there's a bunch of Space Marines all standing like security people, standing there with weapons drawn.
No, in fact. Everyone's there, guns drawn.
I won't talk to you unless you clear the room. Get rid of them.
Sorry. What was the Kayla? What was the name? Sorry, Parker Garrett here from Barger Lewis. We're all on the same side here, right?
With all due respect, no, we are not.
It's emphatically not true. I turn to the Marines. Everyone out.
They all like stare at you, and then they all look to Security Chief Reason. I'm going to need you to roll Empathy Command.
All right. I only have 4 with that. I wish I was manipulating them into leaving. Oh, okay. I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
Push it real good. Got a 6 and a stress.
Hey! All right. Yeah, go ahead and take that stress. They look at you, and like you see that Breezen stares at you and then looks at the blast doors and says, "All right. If you need anything, we'll be right outside that portal. And there's sort of like a portal hole that they all sort of walk out through.
We are still waiting on those 4 gauges to get flown in, so maybe you could scare those up while we
As they're starting to leave, they just snap at a couple of the other armed guards who just walk up and hand you theirs. They hand them to you specifically, Parker Garrett. These things are probably 40 pounds each.
Okay. All right. That's yeah.
They hand you enough for each of you.
Needed to
so
tense my abs.
You're carrying like 200 pounds worth of metal.
Hey, so Lieutenant Calhoun, if you could just help me with the. Just gonna.
Oh, yeah, of course, here.
Right.
And I run over and I take him.
And like effortlessly lift just 200.
Yeah.
Upon getting stressed as well, Deborah will like quickly shoot a look at Dot, and you can just see her like eye starts twitching a little bit as like war flashbacks are just like fading in and out of her mind, and then just like stoics again and looks back.
As this is happening, I think Dot is very quiet in this scene, but she's still very active in how they're looking around. They want to be very aware of their surroundings. And Parker brought up the vent system. Are there vents that I can see currently nearby?
Yes, there are.
Okay. I clock that, and I think I'm going to just be examining the welding on the door as well while this is all happening.
You hear the voice from the other side. Are they gone?
Jules.
Yeah.
How long have you been here? We saw the ship arrive. You're all from the ship?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen to me very carefully. You have to get out now. You have to leave the planet and bring back more. That wasn't enough. It was only one ship. It's not going to be enough. You have to run. Get out now before they take you.
I need you to explain a bit clearer to me. I understand. I need you to just speak clearly, simply. Let's go. What's going on?
When we arrived on this place, they scoured the surface. They found something. A ship. Something. Frozen in the ice. Inside, they found some kind of thing in there. And people, they started to change. Have they touched you?
No, but there was a hand moment. Mama Jules, there was totally a hand moment, wasn't there?
He didn't touch me.
But
Sure.
there was a hand moment.
I mean, I shook with a fellow tech man. You got to build bridges.
Our agents have been touched by at least
Anyone
other
who's
people.
been touched, you can't trust them. It could already be happening.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Already don't.
Whatever you do not be alone with them. That's when they'll take you.
This is some first grade manipulation 101 tactics from a rebellion, and I'm honestly disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, divide and conquer, of course. We can't trust each other. We can only trust you. I mean, that is the first step that they,
I was looking for a revolution to take down a totalitarian government. What I'm finding is a bunch of cowardly, lazy layabouts hiding in a closet trying to get the company to turn on some of its workers.
But you are not listening to me.
Okay.
But
I
we
cut
might
those
be,
two
we might
off.
be able to work this out, though. Just come on out. We'll load you up on our ship. We'll get you all off-world today. I promise.
You don't understand. As soon as we leave, they will attack. They will take us too.
While this is happening, real quick, first of all, very sexy from Deborah. I love a woman who can talk down on people. While this is happening, Cal steps off to the side and uses the same kind of intergroup comms that we have to ping Tanaka, who is alone. Hey, pilot, everything okay there? Negotiations are going good, but have any of these people tried to make a move on you?
So before you get any response, we're going to cut back to currently wearing a power loader suit and
This is supposed to be a happy occasion. I don't know why. What?
manually pulling open the door. As you pull open that door, you see a truly bizarre sight. There is, first of all, it's weirdly cold in this hold. Like, weirdly cold. Like, freezing. Granted, it's already freezing on the planet, but you would expect to feel some warm air. It is cold in this hold. And you see that there is a large panel on the wall that seems to have been slid open, and out of that panel, there seems to have been removed something that you did not hear about. This was not in the manifest. You did not see this in the plans for the ship. There is a large, what looks like a large cubes shaped container, metal container, very large, that is currently being carried out by several individuals, and standing in front of that strange hold is one person, or at least you think it may be one person, because though they are standing here, quite a lot of them seems to be extending out of themselves through their clothes, these red, veiny, muscly tendrils, embedding themselves into that hold. And as you open this, they all sort of pause, and the one it's coming out of their chest, you see it's as though their face is sort of extending and melting out into this. You see their eyes sort of swivel, and one of the eyes stretches itself out as though on a stalk and turns to fix itself on you, and it lets out a sound. And that's where we're gonna go to break.
Hey!
I fucking knew he was gonna die first.
We will see you all in
He's got the power loader. He's got this.
Yeah, you've got the power loader. You can
That's true. Yeah, that's
Ripley
why I
them,
picked
Ripley
up.
them.
Yeah,
We'll be back in
that's why
10
I picked
minutes.
it up
The
before I
panic rolls
started
are coming,
editing.
everybody. Get ready. The panic rolls and the monsters are on
Don't
their
need to
way.
save the pilot.
There's no resistance, was there? Ah!
Bye. Hello, everybody. We're back for the second half of our Alien RPG one-shot adventure. Things are heating up. Currently, our pilot, Tanaka, is wearing full power loader armor, facing off against a seemingly, possibly multiple mutated crew members, one of whom is currently seemingly like pouring themselves into a secret hatch area, while another group of them are taking off appear to be removing some sort of large metal crate, heavily armored metal crate that they are all holding. I will go ahead and let you respond, Tanaka. You can go for it. I will say that because this I think it is immediately clear that this is probably about to be a very hostile situation. I will let you take. Yes.
Could you say one quick thing? Hey, Chet, hi. You have a disproportionately high number of panic rolls to have half of the game left, and a statistically low number of crits in anything that might remotely be helpful. And also, apparently, there's a Kryptonian Groot somewhere in the mail, so that's fine. That's cool. That's all. Okay. And Tanaka has to live. That's it. I'm done.
In fact, thank you for reminding me of that. We're going to institute our first group panic roll. Because I think Tanaka yes, go ahead.
Oh, do you? Sorry, I've got an idea for that. If you allow me to,
please,
to do so. Tanaka goes to try and calm the others to say something, But as he does, that screeching sound kind of just sort of startles him, and he knocks out his communication device, but he leaves it active. So you guys can still hear everything that happens, including the screeching and all that. It does not turn off, which is now landed there, so you can no longer communicate with Tanaka. Hence the panic that sets in to literally everyone in that moment.
Yes, every single one of you has this blasted straight into your ear, this unearthly scream, just as Cal is like, "Hey, Tanaka, how you doing?"
Yep.
Everybody. Everybody, go ahead, and I'm going to say right off the bat, everybody gains a stress level, and everybody please roll a d6 and then add your stress level to that. And then let me know what you get. We're going to start with... Yes, go ahead.
So to be clear, I have 2 stress currently. So do I roll the 3 dice, or do I roll 1 die and add 2 to it?
1 die and add 2.
I seem to recall getting a high number as bad, and I did get a 6.
It is often worse than normal. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. It is a modified 6 though, which is fine, I guess.
Of course.
Hey,
I got a 2.
Sorry.
3 for me.
Okay. Let me see here. Let me look through the notes.
I've been pretty consistently rolling 1s, and I got a 1 again, but that makes a total of 3 because I'm adding the stress die that you just imposed, correct?
Yes. Everybody gains a stress, so everybody adds 1 to what they're at least 1 to what they're some of you may be adding more.
You don't make it to the place that I've made it in this world without being cool under pressure, okay?
Okay. So for anybody who got a 1 through 6, you barely managed to keep your nerves in check.
Oh.
Did anybody get above a 6? Okay. So the initial thing is all of you get a rush of adrenaline. But none of you completely flip out yet. It's sort of just like a
I clasp the Z on my outfit real quick and then gain my composure back and
you okay over there, Walker? Got a cool head.
Tanaka?
Gotta push.
Tanaka, come in.
Push
Tanaka,
the stress.
hello? Is everything okay?
Tanaka, what you doing right now? Because you are standing in your power loader armor facing off against one person. You can see that there are like a full I'm gonna say there's actually 10 people carrying this this container looks heavy, and it's taking 10 of them to carry it. They all see you, and you hear that scream now echoed by all of them, and you also hear it from behind you. What are you gonna do, Tanaka?
Okay.
Okay.
So
Just a chorus of
So Tanaka sees them after this strange container of some kind. I don't know what it is. The noise is coming from behind me as well. So with one hand, Tanaka just sort of slams it up against the emergency security, like the one that's like in case of like explosive decompression or whatever. This is the seal, so it's the emergency shut off. And I'm gonna seal myself in with the 10 people in here. On the shoulders of the loader, you watch as these kind of floodlights, sort of like like the fluorescent lights just fill the chamber. And as this does so, Tanaka takes like this big deep breath and you watch as the loader sort of follows his motions as he takes on this this stance of like the this Shaolin kind of monk fist, and I'm going to sort of smile and sort of have one of the giant power loader claws do the
all right, so I will absolutely say you we'll say that that's your quick action to seal this place. Are you basically just goading them on with your main action, or are you gonna
I'm gonna
first?
Oh yeah, I'll as soon as they make a move, I'll start charging in to attack.
So as you seal this place, your ears kind of pop with the air pressure changes, but the lights, the only lights in here are your bright yellow like hazard head shoulder lights, and you can see in the shoulder lights a weird gleaming as if they're shining on, as if all of these people are unnaturally wet. Like there's flesh and eyes and hair even all seems wet, and you can see it all glinting in the lights of your shoulder lights. Yeah, go for it. You see, as soon as that happens, and they begin to charge towards you. You see the one who had been pouring itself into the cargo hold begins to, and you see its hand start to split. And as it splits, you can see what look like teeth, large teeth, emerging from its hand that splits wider and wider, as if it's like two saws that it's splitting its hand into, about to charge at you.
All right, he is definitely the first one I'm going for. So as he charges, Tanaka begins to move. His legs sort of lift heavily at first, but as they build up momentum, he doesn't let them hit the ground. He pretty much uses the recoil of the shock suspensions on both his legs to gain and build momentum as he and he steps forward. And as he does so, he sort of moves one of the legs to use as a counterbalance as he swings one of the heavy loader arms. I would like to make an attack, and if I may,
Yes.
would I be able to use piloting in place of close quarter combat, as I'm using the loader instead of my fists?
In this particular case, you know what? You're trapped with 11 people, so
You do
yes.
have a free stunt. You've got
And
a
you
free
do have
stunt.
that's true. You do have a free stunt. You have been given a free stunt, which means you can
Nice.
auto success and get a stunt.
Okay. But would I be able to use my piloting for that? Sorry, yeah.
Why not?
Yes! Gonna regret that in a second, because I have 5 agility, I have 3 piloting. Because I have the ability like the back of my hand, I gain a further +2 to that. As I am being in a power loader, the power loader gives me a 3, which means I currently have, with my 1 additional stress dice, 13 d6 and 1 stress dice.
Put it on
Sounds
him.
good.
Watch you not even get a single 6.
Can you
Ma'am,
imagine?
don't you put that evil on him.
Okay.
What are we
1,
looking at?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, sorry. 5 sixes and
Okay.
no mistake. No failures on that one.
It's the power of love.
Okay. I'm gonna use the close combat stunts for this. So you have 5 stunts. So basically, for every 1 extra 6 you roll, because 1 6 is an automatic success. You first of all, you're gonna hit, but you get to add. I think there are 6 different effects. Oh no, there's 5 effects. You can choose 1 of each. So you inflict an additional point of damage. Oh, but you can also choose this stunt multiple times. You can outmaneuver your enemy if you want to. Although in this particular case, because just you and them, it wouldn't really matter. Because this would allow you to swap initiative rolls, but you don't need that. You can knock or pull a weapon or other object from your opponent. You choose which. Your opponent is knocked to the ground, or you can hold your opponent in a grapple. Do you want any of those effects?
Yes. I would like to hold my opponent in a grapple. So as I've swung that power loader arm, it sort of hit him in the midsection. But then what it's done is, as it's hit him on the outside on the midsection, it's rotated 180 degrees, so he's inside the vice, then closed up to grab him. As I then continue that motion, I want to try and take an advantageous position against the others and use this dude as like kind of a swing to kind of throw it as I continue the 360 motion from the loader arms and throw him like almost like a bowling ball into the others to try and push him back.
Amazing. You as you close this, you hear crunching, but like more crunching than you should hear. Like there sounds like there's more bones in here than there need to be. And as you are doing this, you see like what looks like liquid flesh spilling out over your loader claws. You fling him, sending little pieces of flesh flying through the air like a bowling ball into the other 10. I'm going to say that with your 6 successes, you knock him into their legs and they drop this huge case onto him and themselves. And there is a loud splat, crunch, squish sound, sickening as you hear, and they all begin to like writhe writhe as though they have been like concussed, like a person who is concussed, but also is like their whole body is tense, just like all of them at once. I'm gonna say that's the end of your turn. That work for you?
Well done.
I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm happy with that one.
Very
An
well done.
incredible turn. They are. It's like they are all smushed together, and you see the. You see, like they start to like reach down and try and grab this huge case thing. And as they're doing this, you can see red tendrils start to seep up the sides of this huge metal box. And one of them, as it screams, its lower jaw just sort of slides down further and further, as if it's sort of dripping off of their face. And there's just like long tendrils of flesh. You see this in the back, and another one on the other side does this. You see their two jaws sort of swing together, and you hear a clicking sound as they stick together. The two of them, with their jaws connected with all these tendrils, lean their now connected lower jaws against the back of this crate. And with these, with all of these red tendrils, you see the whole mass of beings heave, and then you hear a just like as if somebody's plucking a rubber band, as the jaw tendrils go taut, and then fling this box directly at you. That is, I'm going to roll because they've kind of been mushed together. You have done a huge amount of damage to them, but okay. That is a success and a stunt. So they're going to hit you and knock you to the ground. Now, I believe because you have your armor on, let me see. Because of this, you can. Yes. You can roll 3d6 to try. You're in your power loader armor. You roll 3d6 to try and mitigate this.
I have to say real quick.
I don't remember. Do I get a stress dice added to the power armor roll as well? I'm not sure. I know you get it for the skill tip.
Not to the power armor roll.
That was a incredible description of that special effect.
Oh, thank you.
That's 1 6, a
Okay.
2, and a 4.
Okay, so you reduce the damage by 1. It hits you. It still knocks you prone. You can feel this thing weighs like hundreds of pounds. As it slams into the power loader armor, I'm going to say that you manage to sort of like catch it in doing so. Even in doing so, with how strong this power armor is, or this power loader armor, you can feel like something in your right deltoid like snap. You think you may have torn your delt as you are knocked to the ground with this thing on top of you. And I'm also going to say that with your like power loader arms grabbing onto it, you can hear just a screeching of metal as this thing is like your pincers have to like tear into it a little bit.
Nice.
And as you fall down, there is like you notice there is like air coming out of this, like what looks kind of like smoke. And as you lie there, you hear like from the box itself, you see lights start to flash, and you see you recognize these are bright yellow lights that indicate that something has gone horribly wrong. Those lights very quickly turn red. And I will say from where you are lying, there's like a little screen that says containment breach.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
And before we cut back to the rest of the group, you hear something shuffle inside of this box.
No.
Oh my God.
So you hear like a inside, and everybody else, you hear this horrible screeching of metal, this crunching, this crashing. I'm gonna say this is a second panic roll for everybody. Add an additional stress.
They would absolutely also hear Tanaka yelling out in pain when his delts kind of have that tearing motion.
I
So
rolled
we
a
all
6.
take 1 additional stress? Okay.
Yes, you all take 1 additional stress and roll a panic roll. This is the second of the 4.
Oh, I have not. I got
group
9 then.
A 9.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell me if you got above
I got
a
7.
6.
I
Okay,
got a 7.
I'm also got a 7.
Okay. Those of
I got
you
a 4.
who
I'm
got,
lucky.
those of you who got above a 6, and those who got a 7, you have nervous twitch. Like you have an involuntary nervous twitch. Your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you increases by 1.
Oh,
So
God.
everybody's
Wait, so
Another
3 of
stress.
us just failed, right? So
I
is
just-
that, does that mean
I
stress
failed.
goes up by 4 of us failed? So,
Well, it depends on what you got, because it's only if you got a 7. There's other things. For
Oh,
higher
okay.
than
I
7.
got worse than
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm at 7. So
I have
so-
7. 7 as well.
So
Okay,
1,
so
2,
both
3,
of you,
4.
everybody's stress levels go up by 2.
Oh, cool.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Except
Cool,
for
but-
Tanaka, who's not there with you.
I
Shoot.
will willingly say that my stress level got up by 1 just because of everything that just happened.
Yes, absolutely. So did I hear correctly that Deborah got a 9?
Hello.
Okay. Deborah, whether
Uh-huh.
by stress, confusion, or the realization that you're all going to die,
Mhm.
you drop a weapon or other important item. What important items are you currently holding?
I have a letter of recommendation from General Zod that basically says, "Let me do whatever I want, or Zod will come kill you."
Okay. I'm going to say that you just like without even realizing, just drop that,
Mhm.
and don't even realize that you've dropped it. It's just a scrap of paper now lying on the ground.
Paper? The fuck is paper?
Oh, that's true. If you drop your iPad,
It's a piece of it's a piece of steel carved with his fingernail that says,
course,
"Do whatever the
of
fuck,"
course.
or let her do whatever the fuck she wants, or I will come kill
drop
you.
that, and it's basically invisible because there's a whole
Clang, clang,
room
clang.
is dimly lit steel. Did
I
anybody
got
else
an
get?
8.
You got an 8. Okay, so you begin to tremble uncontrollably, and all skills using agility suffer a -2 modification until your panic stops. So you just begin to shake. Did Tanaka also fail?
No, I got a 6 on the dot.
Okay, so you managed to keep it together somehow. So that's what happens. Stress levels are going high. On the other side of the door, you hear, What is happening in there? What's happening?
I think
Are
as
they
the only person
attacking?
who didn't like lose it, I'll take point for a second. I've already drawn my revolver, and I do just have it not pointed at anyone yet, but it's in my hand. Looks like some business on our ship, but I also need to ask.
ship? You can't let them take your ship. You can't
have-
let them get off world.
Yeah, we have someone who's working on that. Don't worry. I need to ask, was there an actual resistance, or is that just what they said?
We are resisting. We're the last ones left. We're the only ones who are still human. Listen. If they take the ship, we'll blow this place and we'll let the bugs in.
Did
They
we?
can't escape. They can't take the bugs. I saw them try. They can't get through the carapace.
Did we hear that the containment thingy was breached over the speaker?
You heard, I don't think you saw the words, but
We
you heard like the screeching of the metal, and you probably heard like a little going
Do
on.
we know? Do we have like a blueprint of this place? Did we get a blueprint of this place before we came here?
I will say yes on those of you with like the pads, probably in I would say that both that Jules, Deb, and Parker all received on your not quite iPads, your legally distinct iPads. You received full like digital maps.
And final question:
They're my pants.
Is
Hey.
this the safe containment sealed area in front of us?
In front of you is the area where they have sealed themselves away.
Okay. Was this
No,
is this where
I
we?
think they mean relative to our device, the safe
Is this
containment
where-
area.
No. Unfortunately, there's this area that they're on, and then just the rest of the base.
All right.
You
So
have to seal yourselves in here in order to you'd have to seal yourselves away from the security team.
Deborah's just
and
gonna
seal yourself
casually
in-
walk to the entrance to this door and start like hitting things on the wall, trying to seal it closed.
Okay, so what I'm going to need for you to do then is I'm going to need for you, let's see, what would this be? I'm gonna say Comtech. Roll
Ooh.
me a Comtech roll.
All right. So that's 5 plus 3.
Yeah.
Plus.
And let me know if you get ones on any panic.
Plus all of my panic dice.
Yeah, your mountain of panic dice.
Ooh, I got 3 6s and surprisingly no 1s on my panic dice.
Hooray! Okay, so you and as you're doing this, you can see Security Chief Reason says, wait, stop! And just as they're like raising their weapon, the doors close.
I keep hitting it, trying to break any way of them opening this and go completely non-communicative.
I will say that with your 2 extra successes, rather than doing like a full stunt thing, you can just start smashing all of the thing to like basically break that door. It will not open properly using the normal electronic means.
Did
You
it?
would either have to destroy the door or hack the system in order to make it work. But this board is useless, and the one on that side is also useless.
Mm.
I will also say, as you're doing this, just in a panic, you are punching steel right now. So I'm going to say you take 1 point of damage as you were just slamming your hands in a panic against this door.
Perfect.
Cal runs over to where Mama Jules is interfacing with the survivor through the sealed blast door, and they say a clear note of panic in their voice. Wait, hold on. So what those guys who are not human but look human are different from the bugs?
Yes. I think whatever they are went to the surface to get away from the bugs. I think it froze itself on purpose, and then we found it, and then it took us.
So who are the bad guys?
Everybody except us.
Okay. And Cal like pumps their pulse rifle once to activate it, and there's a boop, 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 boop as it comes online. Okay, I can do that. I can shoot everybody that's not us. All right. Oh no, but our only ride out of here, Tanaka. Mama Jules, what do we do?
I think there is
Mama Jules, as you
second.
start to think, you hear on the other side of the door that was just sealed by Deborah. As you can hear them firing their guns into the door, trying to tear it apart.
Jesus.
I think I look at Parker. Parker, are you still holding the guns?
Yeah, technically I'd put them down because I couldn't carry them all, but you very much see Parker has picked up one of the 4 gauges and is holding it awkwardly.
I think I grabbed the
Cal
other 4.
also.
Yeah.
How many
You
of
said
them
there
do we
was
have?
enough
There
for
was
all of us,
2.
so.
Okay,
No,
okay,
they gave you
excellent.
5. They gave you enough for
so
everyone.
it was
The 5, okay.
Want to
Yep.
Parker attempts to hold 2 of them as if it's remotely practical to dual wield a 4 gauge. But he's just,
I think
And these are full, like, 2-hand, like, mounted
beautiful.
style guns. So you're holding 80 pounds.
yeah,
Gigantic 2-handed gun.
badly. Like,
I think I look at everyone and I'm like, okay, so I don't know if anyone here managed to get infected. I like almost knock the door once. Is there a way to tell if people are infected? Are there any go-to signs?
You can tell them the blood. You can tell them the blood makes them bleed.
All right.
I
I
take
think
out my surgical toolkit.
yeah, I better say I'm willing to, bleed as well. I think this is a good show of faith to make sure that everyone in this room is on the up and up. If anyone does not agree with it, I look at Cal. I kind of give you a nod of like, you know what to do, right? If anyone doesn't agree.
Yeah, it's just a small prick, just to make sure our blood's okay.
Yeah, we'll start there. Part 2, we need to get either off of this ship or make sure that or get to the ship or make sure we are locked down in here. No one can get inside, and just tell Tanaka to go into orbit. We'll figure it out if we can do that.
As Jules is speaking, Dot's gonna already be slicing the back of their palm, like the back of their hand. I don't know why people always use the front of their palms. In
You
these
use
kinds
that
of
too much.
situations. Terrible.
Yeah.
I need, yeah. But yeah, I'm happy to do it.
From as the you hear the against the door, and you can see it starting to like vibrate with that sound. You can you hear Kenya on the other side say, "What is that sound? What is that sound? Are they attacking?"
They're trying to break in. Are you able to let us in on your side?
Okay.
We haven't
Okay,
completed
shut.
the tests yet. I don't think you should open the door.
of course they
you
should
hear-
open the door. What are you talking about? Open the door.
This is going to be pivotal. Mama Jules, you can hear that the people on the other side of this door are panicked. They are on the edge. They would rather destroy everyone here rather than let those things get away. Like, that's very clear from the way that she's talking. Everyone over there seems desperate. You can even hear like moans of fear from like a chorus of people on the other side. In order to keep them safe, because they are currently on a bit of a hair trigger, in order to keep them from taking drastic action, I'm going to let you pick the skill, but it's going to need to be either command or manipulation to try and keep them, empathy command or empathy manipulation, to try and keep them from basically going to the nuclear option or their equivalent of the nuclear option.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any? Do I have the ability to stunt on this, or anything like that? Or
I will say yes.
You do have a free stunt.
You do have
Okay.
a free stunt.
yes, I'm going to use that, and also roll empathy manipulation.
Okay.
So what is everything I do for stunt in particular? I forget a little bit.
I will let you know. It's you're doing empathy manipulation. Let me find that particular one. Let's see, there's observation. There's manipulation. You can pick one of 3 options. Your opponent does what you want without demanding a favor in return. Your opponent does more than you ask for example, giving you some useful piece of information. Details are up to me. Or your opponent is impressed by you and will try to help you later on in some way. Details, again, up to me. So
Okay.
if you succeed, you'll get one of those 3 options, I guess, in general, but you have to now also roll for it.
Gotcha.
And also roll the panic dice just in case, because you may get a 1.
Okay.
Or they may help you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Am I able to push myself?
Yes, you can absolutely push yourself on this.
Okay.
Are you pushing?
Yes.
Okay, so you take an additional stress.
That's fine.
Yeah, you can go ahead and add that die as well.
Okay. I got 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes. So we're gonna say I'm gonna say you stunt 3 times. Then you succeed and stunt 3 times. You can pick all 3 options, which is that they do what you want without demanding a favor in return. They do more than you ask for. For example, giving you a useful piece of information. Details are up to me, and they will also be impressed by you and try to help you later in some way.
Yeah. I think I take almost another drag that feels like infinity in this one moment of stress. As she just calmly says, I need everyone here to breathe. First things first, they're trying to break through. Thankfully, we have something on our ship that, if manages to get out, can deal with the problem here on the surface. Don't ask too many more questions on that, but it's a thing that could make this situation go away. And I kind of look at anyone who would have the know about that, of
Okay.
just this is a dire enough situation. I say it's okay to let it fly. Second,
Why do
I
you think I'm sealing this room?
I know.
While this is happening, and you're going, I assume Cal is holding the group at gunpoint as Dot goes around and takes blood samples from everybody. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
You can have
Okay.
some of the
Actually,
blood
does,
on the
does,
panel.
Does Cal point their weapon at me?
Yes.
If Cal points their weapon at me, right when they go to do so, I just look at them and I say, it would be unfortunate were your career to end here and now, Private.
I'm sorry, Mr. Garrett. We just all have to go along with this.
Your life was ended, wasn't it, B?
I hold my hand out for the cut, and I literally put my hand on the barrel and push it towards Dot while I'm doing that.
I think in the midst of all of that happening, I don't say anything, but my as I'm talking to them, my revolver is quietly trained on wherever Parker's standing, where Parker is. I think as I continue to talk through, I think you need to, if this first door breaks down, you might need to let us in. And if you have any weapons on your side, I think they'd come in handy. I don't know how well these things are at fighting, but fighting may come to pass. And there's nothing we can do about it, but try our best and fight like hell.
Now, I need a roll before we go any further. I need a roll from Parker. And Parker, I need for you to send me this results of this roll silently. Do not announce them. Simply let me know via a private chat. I need you to make me a strength stamina roll.
Would you,
you
like
tell
it
me if you
here or
succeed.
in Discord?
You can send it via Discord.
All right. I asked you a question.
Okay. I will take a look. Okay. All right. That works. So do you accept? You said you held out your hand also in addition to moving the barrel. You also held out your hand to let your blood. Be
Yeah,
taken?
because I have no idea that I was like, of course I'm not infected. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna be left-handed because everything about me is weird. Yeah, I said it. Left-handed people. So when I shook his hand with my left hand earlier, I hold out my left hand again. But I very much am just staring daggers at Cal, like, how dare you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Garrett. It's just I got orders from Mama Jules and
Who
we're gonna get through
signs
this
Mama
okay.
Jules paychecks?
I
The
do.
company.
Do you have
Yes.
the blood? Do you have the blood?
Yeah, but I am in no way resistant because it's more like you have the audacity to check
Yeah.
my blood. Yeah, right.
Do you have something hot? Put fire in the blood. Hurt the blood. Do something that would hurt it.
What?
Can you burn it?
Getting cut hurts. Who are these people? Why are we listening to them?
I got matches. Because Mama Jules likes to smoke. And I quickly rifle through my things.
Burn the blood.
And I put it down on each of our spilled blood.
Okay. I also need for Deborah to make me a strength stamina roll
Hi.
and send me the results.
Using all my stress still.
No stress on this. There's
Aw.
no stress on this one.
That's even more ominous.
I'm glad we've gone this far just to play Among Us with extra steps.
No.
Yeah.
I'm skewed.
Sant
Okay. All right. Thank you. So you first into Mama Jules's blood. Nothing. Dot's blood. Your own blood. Nothing. You hold it over Deb's blood. Nothing. You hold it over Parker's blood. Nothing.
We're all good. We're clean. I'm so sorry, Mr. Garrett.
Yeah, you will be.
We're gonna take their word
down,
for that.
Private.
Is it a practical experiment?
Yeah, I don't see any. You know what? Once you open the door so we can try burning your blood. Open this door now.
Are they safe? Are they safe? Okay.
No reaction. We're safe.
No reactions.
No reaction.
Then you hear like what sounds like some sort of weird, bizarre sound from the other side. Sort of like a humming, and you see like a line appear of white line. The
Jesus,
metal
they're
heats
breaking
up. As they're. This is from the blast door side, so they seem
Oh,
to
okay,
be
thank God,
cutting
thank
the
God.
door open to let you in. Meanwhile, the other door is absolutely heating up. That whole door is getting hot. You can you can hear like they're getting closer, and you now hear them like it sounds like they got some kind of a battering ram. And you hear like a poof, poof, poof. The door is getting like buckled in from the other side, and just as this door is melting open, they're like, through quickly, like just as soon as they manage to melt a hole large enough.
I
you all
pushed
to get
through everybody else to get to the hole first.
Hal lets everyone go. It's going go, 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 go. You know, the classic.
Yeah, I'm second to last through.
Okay, cool. I will let you go through without being melted. But you managed to like dive through.
Tis but a scratch.
Yes. You managed to get through to the other side. Just as you see the door begins to burst open, and the door on the other side bursts open, and you watch as what looks like half of a person, if you turned it inside out, gets like shoved through that hole, and all of the veins and nerves lift off of the body, grab onto the ground, and you see them like you can hear sort of a screeching sound as they embed themselves in the steel and start pulling. This thing starts pulling itself through. They absolutely unload on this thing, just through the door. You hear one of them takes a small explosive and throws it on the other side of the door. They grab a sheet of metal, shove it in front of the hole, and a bunch of them press themselves against it. And a second or two later, you hear, and it's so hard. It hits so hard. The concussive force pushes them off the door slightly. But they stand there, they're like, weld it, quickly, weld it! They begin to run around, and you can hear like that strange hum again as they're trying to like melt it on, but they like surround you and start shuttling you away. As they're doing this, you see Kenya. Kenya is sort of a short, I would say short, thickly built brown woman, and she's got her hair pulled back. Everyone here looks frazzled. They have such a frazzled air to each of them. And she's like, okay, there is something that we could try. There is something we could try. It's something we found, or maybe someone, as we were exploring the tunnels. I don't think they discovered it. We were looking for a way out. We were looking for a way out through the tunnels, and we found something in the ice. We don't know what it is. Maybe it could help us. Is it worth it?
Do not thaw anything else. Let those things die. We stay in here safe and do not activate anything else for...
No, but it looks human.
Things that look human may not be human.
She turns to you, Jules.
Do you have any other information on this?
No, we were too afraid. We were only going to use it. We weren't sure. We didn't want to let free something else, but I look at you and I hear your voice and I trust you. If you say it's worth it, we'll try it.
I'm going to say, give me a minute, and I'm going to try to use my talent investigator to see if I can notice if there's anything hidden in this room or any details that might, give us more to work with. Because if they've been panicked, they may not have actually had the headspace to think through this or check for everything.
Right. As you're doing that, yes, Parker.
I get on the radio and I say, Tonica, things have gone a little sideways out here, so we are moving along with the rebels. Here's what I need you to do, buddy. I hear the alarms on the crate there. Seems like that's been compromised. What I need you to do is activate the device inside. The code is 44231. That is 44231. And put on your gas mask afterwards. You will be safe. You have nothing to worry about.
Jesus.
As you speak the words 44231 out loud, both you and Deborah get a on your MyPads.
Nice.
Like a notification of something.
Really distinct. I look down at my MyPad.
As you look down and it says emergency protocol for your eyes only. Highly classified.
Can it turn? Fingerprint scan. I'm like,
You see the first line says please read this once you have gotten to safety. Do not let anyone else see this. It contains classified information about a highly experimental weapon. You continue reading?
Yeah.
Okay. As you continue reading, trying not to show this to anybody, it says, the line you read is, the pathogen is not exactly that. It is more accurately described as a creature. And with that, we're going to cut back to Tonica. Tonica, you are holding this crate. You hear something begin to move on the inside. I will let you have another move. Now it is back to your turn as you're lying on your back, having been injured. What are you trying to do? Because you sealed the door. There's still whatever that thing is that attacked you, and now there's something moving in this crate, this metal crate.
All right, so Tonica is laying on his back as he has the pressure of this giant container just over him. Seeing the cracks sort of leaking and the flickering lights, knowing about radiation and pathogens and a whole bunch of other stuff. Tonica's not messing about. A few seconds he'll try just the levers on his power loader, and I imagine as it's trying to lift it up, and there's just this resistance that's just not really getting that traction from a prone position with that weight on his chest. So instead, he unclips himself from the loader and sets the claws just to sort of lock the grip that it's currently got in. He'll sort of climb a little bit out of the loader's cockpit and look for the panel where he can input the code, which he hears from the headset nearby where he landed.
Okay. You enter that code, and it says, like, you see the little, well, I guess there's probably screens around the whole thing, like screen here, screen on this face, screen on this face. You see the screen that says containment breach, warning containment breach. It says release system, or release, what would it be? Release, I can't even remember, function, release function activated. And it says, because of the containment breach, you can see it already like starting. You can see a countdown going down that says 1 minute. But from the inside, you can hear more motion. And from the rest of the room, like, you can hear that thing moving and sort of collecting itself again. And you can hear sort of this half scraping, half wet sliding sound getting closer to you. It sounds like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. Hearing this noise and seeing the counter, I am not going to waste any time. Tanaka goes to, like, sort of turns around, like, again, at this point he's just sort of crawling in the cockpit freely now that he's not strapped in, and he pulls at the like, kind of the emergency pack that's on the side of the loaders. These are kind of like in case you need to do like open spacewalks or things like that in the loader and stuff. It's got like the canisters, the hazard masks and stuff like that. So I want to grab the canister that's there and sort of clip on my the helmet. And based on the fact that it's lying on its back, I'm going to say that Tanaka knows his way around his own ship, right? What I want to do is, on the floor of the cargo bay, I want to see if there is a access panel that I can use to try and get into the systems or the ventilation system corridor underneath the floor.
The main body of the ship.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. So I'm basically going to try and, like, find that panel, get up, and try and crawl into it from underneath the loader. So, like, if I don't have to leave the safety of, like, the loader, I won't. But if I do, then I'll climb out and I'll make a run for that spot.
Okay. I will say, I think with how this has gone, you probably have drawn most of them out of the ship, so you are able to. This does release light into the chamber, and you can see this. It has 10 faces. Looking, some of them have begun to split. It has far more teeth, however, than are appropriate for 10 faces. It looks like there are teeth and maybe shards of other bones that are partially growing out of this mass that have been pulling itself across the ground. You only get like a flash of that before you're able to sort of scoop out into the ship. You can absolutely, it like looks at you, and I will also say this, as you pull yourself out, you see with like, because it reached the box, as it touches the box, you can see what looks like something black sort of like slightly stick itself out of the box. But you catch only a glimpse of that before you shut the door. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, as I do so am I underneath the cargo, or am I off to the side of the cargo? By this point, you are on top, like you're in the ship proper. So you're technically above the cargo, and you know, like you can hear all of them howling. And now as you get out of the ship for the first time, you notice the banging. The whole ship is being rocked by this banging sensation that seems to be coming from outside the ship. All right. As this is happening, Tanaka's like sort of like still wincing from his shoulder injury as he goes to try and use his comms, but it's not there, and he looks back and he's like, "Of course." I'm going to start making my way towards the bridge as quickly as I can. Okay. I will not make you roll anything. You are able to make it to whatever part of the ship you want to.
Okay. Once I'm at the bridge, I'm going to activate the outside sensors to see if I can tell what's going on outside the ship immediately.
Yes. As you flip the little switches, you see all sorts of pings. And in addition to the multiple pings, you see one very big ping on the outside of the ship. And they seem to be like all around, concentrated around the cargo hold door of the ship.
Okay. Tanaka is not going to waste any time, and I'm going to start launch procedures.
Okay. As soon as you feel like you see like a flurry of activity as things start running now for the ramp to get onto the ship.
So normally with takeoff procedures, it is a vertical takeoff.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to do is I want to activate the gyro balances that would normally activate the micro thrusters to change the orientation. So what I want to do is, rather than having a vertical takeoff, I want to have a 90-degree vertical turn, and then let loose the rear thrusters onto the deck itself. But just before I do that, I want to also open the cargo bay door.
We call that the
Drop.
R2D2 maneuver.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and I want to. Yeah.
You absolutely
and I
get
will
the
even
cargo
call.
bay- Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, and I'll even call it the R2D2 maneuver. I will literally, tell the systems to initiate protocol R2D2.
You absolutely get the cargo bay door open. I need a pilot roll to successfully flip this ship around and then melt these people with the
Oh no!
exhaust.
Whatever will I do? Okay, three for my pilot, 5 for my agility, 2 stress, 2 for my extra like a glove. I like the back of my hand. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 6s. No,
Okay.
no complications.
Incredible. Yeah, you flip this ship around, and absolutely, you hear like a horrific screech, ear splitting. I'm going to say, and because this is so loud and hits everybody's comms, I'm going to say this is again in response to y'all trying to like contact Tanaka again. You again hear this horrific screeching sound.
Copy, you there?
I'm gonna say this is another group panic roll because this is like
Oh my god.
this is directly to your heart.
Sure. Hey, guess how many stress your boy's sitting at right now?
I bet I could beat it.
5.
Oh, I'm also
my
at 5. I got a 9.
I got a 10.
9. A
Me too,
10.
I got a
10 on my
10.
stress. Yep, I got my panic.
I got an
Okay.
8.
boy.
Wait, I have so many things open.
So I'll say for a 9, you drop an item.
I do
so
have a
who got nine?
gun.
Yeah, you drop your gun.
Not anymore.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm gonna say that you drop your gun and it goes off.
Oh
you drop your
damn!
gun and it goes off. I'm just gonna roll a random. I'm gonna roll a d6. See who it
It's
hits.
gonna shoot one of us.
I mean, there's other friendly.
It's gonna shoot Tanaka through the scene.
Dot, this gun drops, hits you right in the thigh.
Oh!
You take 2 points of damage. It's not. It hurts.
In
It
a-
hurts
Was it the
lot.
4 gauge or was it like a regular gun?
Just a regular service pistol.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
thank
a
God, because
handgun.
your entire
Uh,
leg.
It is a bit
Just
It's a bit melted too, which is weird. Also, in a panic game mummy, I'm gonna run over and start applying pressure to Dot's wound immediately.
Okay.
Just for the fans at home, just to keep track of things. She just took 2 points of damage. You know how many hit points I got? 3. So getting shot for 2. That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, Dot, how you looking?
I have 1 hit point left.
Oh,
Oh,
Dot, it's not
Jesus.
good. As you're like putting pressure on the wound, you touch this thing, and it feels there's something that feels right about touching like Dot's leg in this moment, and you can see like a little bit of
No.
exposed flesh. You feel like in order to really feel like you are making contact with Dot, you need to touch that flesh. One way or another. You
I
have,
say, "Get
you have your
away from
fingers
me!"
and you have your mouth. Something needs to make
Oh my God.
contact with this flesh in this moment.
Hey, she passed the vibe check with the blood fire.
I
so...
DM'd Kelly while
I
this
mean-
was happening, being like, I feel like you're the thing.
Dot and I are friends. or at least coworkers and colleagues, I need to apply as much pressure as possible. I mean, I'm not wearing gloves or anything. I just got to push as hard onto this flesh wound as possible with my hand, as hard as I can press.
So you just like put your hand onto it?
Yeah, you got to apply pressure to a wound so she doesn't bleed out.
As you are doing this, there is like sort of an ecstasy that you feel from touching this other
From helping my
person.
friend, yeah.
It's like you feel like you are truly connected with Dot on a level that you never have been before.
As corporate agents, we intimately care
Yeah.
about the people that make up this great company.
Once the stress goes off, I'm shooting Deborah and Parker. I'm so sorry.
You feel like as you're doing this, you feel like it's like Dot touching Dot is like it's like when you give somebody like a half hug and you're like, nah, I really love this person. I want to give him a full hug. Like this little bit is like, no. More of me needs to be in contact.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Game Mommy, do we see anything weird happening with Deborah? And or would Dot sense something really fucking weird and off about
Well,
this?
here's the thing.
Do you want me to
All
roll
of
a
this is weird because
manipulation?
A bunch of you are freaking out. Those of you who got a 10, you freeze with fear or stress for a round. So you are frozen in place while this
and
is
I got a
happening.
10.
Okay, I'm frozen.
I can't
I'm
even
frozen.
do anything.
Did any? You also got a 10. So 3 of you are frozen in place. Did Mama Jules?
I got an 8.
You got an
Thank God,
8.
Mama Jules,
You
save us.
begin to tremble uncontrollably.
Ah!
You do see something very strange because as Deborah makes contact, you see like her body start to like shudder, and then like her head starts to move, kind of like if a cat has like a weird tickle spot, and they sort of make that like face that sort of like moves. You see like her head start to sort of move in like a weird way, and her eyes seem to withdraw a little bit back into her head. Like her eyes look weirdly sunken as this
cool.
happens.
I have a
So,
question.
Yes.
I think actually while I'm trembling, I think like the first time this is really like broken through, I'm going to aim my gun immediately at Deborah. I'm going to have to say we need to kill her.
You've
And
said
I'm
that
going to
countless
take a shot.
times.
Of other ones aim their guns at her as well and scream, "It got her! It's getting her!" Yes.
Don't worry,
Question.
Mommy.
I have a. Oh,
Well, it's because this is relevant. I know you said I freeze for a round, but I don't know how long a round is out of combat.
10
Like, am I here? I have a question for you.
Yes.
Here in the Discord.
I will look at it. It's about
Okay.
10 seconds.
I
It's
have
about
another
a round.
question as well.
Yes.
Is Parker close enough to help with my personal safety?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I would say so.
All right.
And I think Parker, as you see all of these people aim their guns at Deborah, you two are colleagues. More than that, like you are closer than colleagues in this moment. It feels as they aim their guns at Deborah, something in your mind, it feels like they're aiming their guns at you.
You know,
Yeah,
they
go ahead.
aren't just attacking me. They're not attacking Deborah. They're attacking Barker.
Yes. They're attacking Barker Lewis in this moment. And you see that Kenya is the leader of this group. You have to destroy the head in order for the body to be free of its tyranny.
I would like you all to know that I very much typed in chat, shoot Kenya. So the moment everybody looks at Deborah, I'm just like, blast Kenya.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Mama Jules, I will let you react to this because you already had your gun pointed. You can go ahead. Do you open fire on either Deborah or Parker in response to this?
I think actually I'm going to fire at Parker only because Parker has a weapon in this exact moment.
That's true.
I'm still going to say shoot Deborah, and I think they will also notice me shoot at Parker, so hopefully they will into it. He's next, but
Okay.
that
Go
is my
ahead.
hope.
You have, because you are currently trembling, you have a -2 modification until your panic
Cool.
stops. So
Am I
remove
able
2
to like take
of
a
your
knee
regular dice.
and add that 2 back for going prone, or do I not have time for that? It's okay if I don't.
I don't think you have time for that. No.
That's fine. Cool. So -2.
Yes, -2. Deb, that is going to be Parker. I need you to make me a ranged combat roll.
Okay.
In fact, both of you are
Just
making a ranged combat roll.
Have
Both of
our
you-
stats
Are you
changed
firing
at
with
all?
your- By the way, are you firing with the 4 gauge?
Yeah, I'm shooting the 4 gauge. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
all
also
right.
holding the 4 gauge, so I will
So both
also.
of you are-
Jesus, it's
But
like
I'm not
a-
trying to shoot Mama Jules. I'm shooting Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Make it.
Okay.
Just I mean, you maybe tell me via Discord, is there any change to my stats because of my now upgraded status of
Yes, I will
having
say
optimized my DNA?
Yes, I will say that I will say that all of your panic, all of your stress dice are just now part of. You no longer have the possibility to stress. It's like you just have them as dice. There's no doubt.
I'm just zen. Yeah.
Oh
no,
my
it's-
god!
Like,
Oh my
Just get a
God.
+4.
Damn.
Why am I even
Okay.
worried? That's a +5 actually.
So-
but yeah.
So that's plus that's agility plus range combat, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Want to make sure I know what I'm fully rolling. Can I push myself?
Yes. Meanwhile, Dot, you can feel something very strange. It's almost as if something is like sucking on your wound. Like it feels like Deborah. It feels like Deborah's hand is like has created suction over your wound, and it feels so painful. It's like it's trying to pull the skin around the wound.
I got one success.
1 success. Okay, so you do hit her. What about Parker Garrett?
Oh, I was aiming at Parker.
Oh
No,
yes,
okay.
but
No,
he
he
was
shoots.
also
No, I got 2 6s to shoot Kenya.
Okay. Here's the thing. These weapons are such that a human being can't really survive a direct hit. So you aim this gun at Kenya, and she is shredded. Just moments before you yourself have a very messy hole torn through the center of you. You fall to the ground, and just unmoving. You feel like you feel everything fall away in that moment. Your consciousness just withdraws further and further back, Parker. And you watch as Parker's body, just having been sawed in half, collapses to the ground, unmoving. And Kenya is dead. The rest are going to open fire on Deborah. They do not have the heavy duty guns. They're just firing at Deborah.
Is Cal close to me?
Is Cal close to you? Cal,
I'm in this.
Go ahead.
I'm in a similar state as Dot. I think I'm closer to Mama Jules than I would be to Deborah or Dot
I mean,
or Parker.
Dot's there.
Dot is very close to you.
That is what
Yeah.
I was afraid for Dot. Dot might
Dot-
get.
Gonna be dead.
Dot is,
Yeah.
but Dot, I'm help. I mean, I got a question for you then.
You gotta look out for number
Is
1,
it too early to consider Dot, simpatico with Parker and I?
I think you feel like she's on her way there, but they're not actually one of you yet.
All right, then I'm gonna
Not
use
yet,
I'm
not
gonna use
yet.
personal safety to put Dot in the way of these bullets.
Oh my god!
Go ahead. It's a roll, right? You have to.
It's
make
a
roll.
manipulate and empathy. I believe.
I'm fucking frozen. I can't do anything.
Just
Me neither. I wish I could help you.
Parker just gives the
As you fall.
Oh no!
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Once again,
Yeah. How? Okay. Did you succeed on the roll? Let's see.
I got 3 6s.
Oh my goodness. I will say that as you pull your hand away from Dot's thigh, seeing that there is a solid connection of skin, that has merged into Dot's leg, and you slingshot Dot in front of you and just throw yourself up behind her as you push her towards the bullets. I'm so sorry, Dot. They rolled 3 6s.
Oh my fuck!
I'm
Stop
dead.
Headed apart. Just
and I'm also
Wait. I want to say something.
Oh, go
As
ahead.
I'm being blasted apart by bullets, you see in my breast pocket shreds of the last photo I had of my daughter.
Oh no!
Jesus Christ!
Very sad. Never got to use it in the game, but it's fine. I'm dead.
so sorry.
That's it.
I'm also as part of a stunt, if you want to call it as well. I'm gonna bend backwards and sort of crack a bit and maybe extend some more arms out of my rib, and then just scurry deeper into the tunnel.
Okay. It's like you're still kind of. It's like you're not 100% this thing. That's why it wasn't really showing up in your blood yet.
Okay.
You can do a little bit. I'm gonna say that your rib cage extends, and about 6 inches of rib clears your back.
Okay.
And so you fall onto the ground and just scuttle off with all of your ribs just clattering along the ground. As you are running off into the caves, they are like, no! One of them hits the button. A tunnel ahead of you bursts open. And with its concussive force knocks everybody down. I'm going to say the concussive force in fact shakes the whole place. I'm going to say I'm going to need another group panic roll. Our fourth group panic roll.
Jesus, mother.
Of this, including Tonica, because Tonica, as you are taking off and you see the cargo hold having been emptied out, you see the most you see a mass of body parts. It looks like if you were to take a group of people, like a painting of a group of people, like a watercolor, and then just start smearing it. Like put your finger on it and start smearing it so that they are all interconnected like a spider's webs worth of flesh that is all strung together. And then if all of those people opened up their bodies, just their chest cavities, everything that could be opened, split open. And it's as though they're like reaching up towards you and writhing. It is also a charred, horrifyingly charred, burnt mass. And as it's lying there twitching, and like you see all of these bodies all extruding tendrils, you also feel a profound sense of panic. And as you have this panic, you see crawling out from underneath all of this a somewhat insectoid, somewhat humanoid-looking creature with an elongated head that stretches out on all fours, and a long tail with a blade on the end of it. And it looks up at you and begins to scurry over to the wall on all fours and starts climbing up the wall while you are experiencing whatever panic effect you might be having. First, you got a 7, I believe.
I did.
Let me look. You got a 7, which means your stress level increases by 1. So your stress level just goes up. You see this thing scurry up the wall and then jump onto the ship, like landing on the ship, like digging its claws into the side of the ship. This thing, and it's like it starts to scurry over to the windshield. I guess the space shield, really. Looking at what everybody else got. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I do anything about that?
Yes, you can attempt that.
So as I said, I was going vertically, so the ship's orientation is currently upwards.
Yeah, so it's and fell on the top of it.
And the landing is open to the elements at the moment. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to attend an ascending barrel roll as I'm going to try and use the momentum to fulcrum this goddamn thing off my goddamn ship.
Okay. I'm going to say go for it. You are fully in panic mode. So the risk of something horrible happening here has been greatly increased. Yes. I'm going to say, for the record, I think you're going to need a minimum of 3 successes to pull this off without severely damaging the ship.
Okay. I have again a metric ton of dice, so 5 agility, 3 piloting, 2 for my the back of my hand, and 4 stress dice, giving me a total of 14 dice to roll.
Okay, while you are rolling those, before you give me the result, I'm going to jump over to everybody else, because everybody else is rolling. Mama Jules, you got a 9. You drop your gun.
I dropped the big gun.
Yeah, you
thankfully, my
big
revolver
gun.
was in my holster.
Yes, you drop your big gun. I believe, Cal, you got an 11. You are
I got an 11. I'm gonna overkill. I'm gonna swap the result of that to overkill, which, if folks don't know, that means when triggering overkill, I must immediately attack my enemies, and I won't stop until I or all enemies in sight are broken. So the only enemies in sight are Deborah, right, who's scuttling off toward that concussively blasted open hole, and potentially Parker if he's still alive.
But there's more. Before that, as you start this, you see a spear-like limb come in through that hole as a huge insectoid creature, black with like these yellowish stripes and red markings, tentatively scurries in, sees you, and then lets out sort of a high-pitched and then another and another and another as these huge Starship Trooper bugs.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
I said Terminids
It's
as
like
a
hell
joke.
divers. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing
so
my part.
if I may, I would like to
We
dual
literally did our
wield
part.
Yeah.
Baby in one hand. Actually, yeah, because I love Baby. Baby in one arm for precision pulse attacks,
Yes.
and a 4-gauge shotgun that I mount with perfect form, even though it's
An
gonna be like a
automatic
cannon
4-gauge.
going off. Yeah, an automatic 4-gauge. Like pulse shotgun, and I'm gonna start blasting and shooting, and I start shouting and screaming, and I'm also laughing. I am laughing hysterically as I just shout, "Go, go, 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 go! I'll hold them off! Go, go!" And I'm just like blasting and blasting and blasting.
Oh, wow. Okay, go ahead and start making attacks. I'm gonna say ranged combat. Just make
Let's fucking
ranged
go.
combat. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what did Tanaka get?
All right, so I have 3 successes,
Okay.
but I have 1 complication from my stress dice.
So that means you immediately panic. I need you to make me another panic roll, and add another stress to that.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. That's 10 on my stress.
You freeze.
You should not freeze while driving. Oh no.
And then freeze in you. Like this thing is like.
Oh,
yes,
I do
go
have
ahead.
advantage. Can I roll that again and take the lower result if I have advantage?
I will let you do that. Yes. Thank you to whoever
It was from
donated.
the donations.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Even
I
get
forgot about
lower.
ghosts.
Okay, so that's better. That is an 8.
An 8. You begin to tremble uncontrollably. All skill rolls using agility suffer a -2 modification until your panic stops.
I can live with that. I can live with that. I'm like piloting. I'm pretty okay with. So like my hands are
Okay.
shaking. I feel like this is just like a mixture of just everything going on.
I need for you then to re-roll me your piloting roll -2 dice.
Okay, done and done.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, and you're just like, "Ugh," you almost
Yeah.
freeze up, and then you're like, "Oh no!" And you just start shaking and trying. This thing, by the way, pulls its teeth back, and a smaller mouth shoots out against the glass, shoots out again, shoots out, and it's like scraping away bits and pieces of the windshield of this ship as it's trying to get through. Everybody else. So, what did we get for your ranged attack rolls, your ranged combat rolls, Cal?
I have something hilarious for you, Jeremy. I got 5 successes, and on one of my stress dice, I did roll a 1, so I made a panic check, and I got another 11.
Oh my goodness. An 11 means you seek cover. You must use your next action to move away from danger and find a safe spot if possible.
But I'm currently in the effects of overkill, which means I'm not
Yes.
gonna stop until everyone's broken or I'm broken. Would
Exactly.
I cascade trigger overkill again?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, because I got 2
Infinite
11s, which are
fighting
both
machine.
overkills.
Yes.
Zealot barbarian cannot die while raging.
Yeah. You absolutely, I'm going to say, everything that was moving towards you stops moving. Screaming, spraying lead death in this hallway, laughing like a maniac. Mama Jules, you see, this is almost more horrifying.
It is.
Their mind has snapped. In
Yeah,
this
I'm
moment.
fully off the deep
Dude,
end.
can you have a second in command? I assumed there'd be some sort of hierarchy in here, but
Yeah, you can yell who's second in command? You can.
yeah,
In fact,
I think I'm
will
going
say,
to yell, "Who's second in command? Take us to the ice. Let's thaw that thing."
Yeah, you see a woman run forward. She's like, "It's me. I'm Jays. Jays. I can. Yes, let's go. Let's go. It's right down here." And she starts running down, running down the hallway. We can make it past. And I guess Cal, if you're going with them, you can just keep firing into the hole.
Yeah, like I'm holding up the rear and I just go, die, you motherfuckers, die! And I don't stop until I'm out of ammo. Like a click, 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 click. And I like put baby back over my shoulder and I pick up like one of the other 4 gauges that's been dropped.
All right.
And I pull up the rear.
Awesome.
I give one last look at Dot, one last look at Parker, one last look at Deborah. I don't know if all 3 of them are dead. If I hit
As
them,
you look at where
like,
Parker was, he's not there anymore.
fucking of course he's not. What about Deborah? Did Deborah also make it out?
As you look, you can see most of Deborah. But it looks as though part of Deborah is just missing. And it does not, it looks like as if you were to have taken Deborah's heart and removed it. And from above you, you hear a scuttling sound.
Jesus fuck.
And as you look up, you can see half of Parker clinging to the ceiling. And from Parker's tongue is extended. And from that tongue hangs what looks like a conflagration of a liver and a heart that have grown claws out of them, which you recognize as probably the organs that came out of Deborah.
What in the Tool video is this?
Oh my god, is the letter of recommendation anywhere?
It's in the past room.
Recommendation is still in the breast pocket.
Yes. Yeah. I stare. I give like a look up at Parker and I just go, corporate agent's true form. And I shoot blindly with the 4 gauge to like give myself cover. I don't actually expect to hit Parker, and I
Oh, that's
scuttle
Deborah.
back.
That's not. Oh wait, yeah,
We're
that's Deborah.
together, but I do have a question. I have a question.
Oh, we're both there. Oh, okay.
I have a question,
okay,
Game
sorry.
Daddy or Game Mummy. Well, so Cal is shooting at Parker Deb on the ceiling, can Deborah's legs attack Cal?
Yeah,
Oh my
like
God.
what are my combat capabilities currently? Because
me,
I
Mama
have a thing
Jules.
that
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay,
the
cool.
legs
Yeah.
Jump to the feet, and yeah, you can actually run them over very quickly.
All right.
Am I capable? Okay, to be clear, 1, am I capable of speech? 2, am I capable of violence?
You are capable, I'm gonna say, of both in this moment.
Then wherever on the floor, my head is just gonna look up and say, "Stand down, private," and shoot Mama Jules with my revolver.
Okay, so
Yeah.
make a ranged a combat roll, make a close combat roll, Deborah, make a ranged combat roll, Cal.
Okay.
And then Mama Jules, I will say that as you're running for the ice, you can see like this block of ice with sort of an obscured figure in it. You can see the other ones run up and just begin blasting at the ice. They're trying to free whatever is in there.
Cool.
Chipping away at it, like blasting through the ice very, very quickly. Jumping back to Tanaka, what did we get on our new pilot rolls?
So I had no complications and 5 successes.
You
Hell
spin,
yeah.
you spin off this xenomorph thing that was clinging to the windshield, goes flying off into the snow. You are now flying free in this cold, frigid area. Deborah, you got 4.
I got 1 success. I got 4
which means
5s.
You do manage to successfully drop yourself down on. I'm gonna say you drop yourself down onto Cal's face.
Oh no, the legs are just attacking behind. Like while Cal's distracted with the
Oh,
ceiling,
that's
the
okay.
legs
Coming
are.
out of the top of the legs, maybe some leg
The
tentacles.
Yeah.
legs on the ground are crawling towards Cal to attack them.
You managed to get through their onslaught and then make contact with Cal. Cal, what did you get on ranged combat?
I got 4 successes and no complications.
Okay, so you absolutely shred everything that was above you, but unfortunately, what's below you managed, like the legs scurry over towards you, and you see a hand reach out from like the pelvis area, like this weird half-formed baby hand, reach up
No!
and grab your hand and to sink its fingers into your flesh, refusing to let go. Like as you're shaking it, you can see it's already like melding into your flesh.
I am going to, if I may, close combat is my bitch, one might say. Adrenaline surging through my body, I unhook my combat knife and I try to cleave my hand off.
Looks like you got
that's
that
sick.
promotion.
I won't even make you roll for that. You just straight up leave off your own wrist. Meanwhile, what did Parker get on his ranged attack roll?
Quick question: do I have the capability of shooting the 4-gauge? I don't know what state my body's in. I had
I'll
it when I
say
got
you
shot.
can grow whatever is necessary in order.
Well,
to
then yeah,
fire
I'm
this.
shooting the 4-gauge at Mama Jules on the way out with a big old 5 successes.
Is there?
Yeah.
I assume there's nothing I can do about this. Am I just dead?
Yeah, with the amount of damage that is.
Yay!
I'll let you have a last moment.
Mama Jules.
Do I get a chance to see it, or does it hit me from behind?
I think he was firing at you as you were like running and seeing the ice
Yeah.
being split apart. But you can turn before you die if you want and see what is happening.
Yeah, I'm going to turn. And like I think the only thing I do, and like cinema time, so I have an extra second, is I simply pull out my flask. It's an old dented flask with an inscription of my like since passed wife, and I just try to take one swig as I am gibbed to shreds.
All right. It's sort of like the ending of the third Pirates of the Caribbean, where you're like walking down, where he's walking down the ship, Cutler Beckett, it's getting shredded. And it's just, it's like that, except it's your body.
I was
just
thinking
getting-
it's more the end of Watchmen,
Oh, that too, yeah.
especially on the ice.
Yeah. As this happens, Cal, you see Mama Jules killed. You see you've removed your own hand. You have a bloody stump.
I'm grabbing onto the stump.
Yes, you glance because you hear like a ah sound, and then sort of like a high-pitched whine, and feel heat. And as you look up, you see that two lines, like there are two burn marks, through this hallway, and through this cracked icy mass, you see a hand that looks like it's made of wood, and pulling itself out is a full-on tree creature about 7 feet tall, floating in air with two red glowing eyes. And you hear a voice. I am Groot. And that's where we're gonna have to end this as Kryptonian Groot floats, making eye contact. Yes.
Does he have like a tiny little like curl on his forehead, like a little tree root?
Yeah, a little sprout that is
Yeah.
growing off.
Inexplicably underwear on the outside. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like a leaf. Instead of the underwear, it's just a little leaf in the spot.
I'm saved by a Kryptonian again. Yay!
I know we're wrapping this up. We don't have to spend any time with it, but I'm standing like my body's all ruined. Like I'm clearly some sort of monster, and I just started rummaging in my pocket for my letter of authority.
Incredible. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much to our players. Thank you to everybody who donated. This is truly incredible. Thank you. We gotta go. So everybody, thank you so much for helping to support Salal. It's an incredible charity. Is there anything else I need to say, or is that just about it? All right, we outie. Bye.
Bye.
Waylon Yutani.